speed. Let's go.
Good evening, everybody. Welcome to the CrossFire podcast, where crap continues to fucking voice bomb over the intro. I think that's fucking 20 straight. Way to go, buddy. I love keeping things a tradition. That's wonderful. Listen, man, that pre-game party we just had right there. We almost didn't do a podcast. We almost just started heading over to the keg in the woods and hanging out. The fucking seven of us. Listen, it's going to be a good show, guys. I want to. This is a little bit premature. This is a little bit of an early Bill Pullman, but yesterday was our Independence Day, and I just want to let you know that we will not go quietly into the night. We've been here for 3 years. We've got an excited panel to kind of go over everything that was in the gaming news the past week. Let me start with the one, the only, the voice audio bomber himself, Crap Gamer. What's up, buddy?
Hey, como estás, bitches? Oh, Crap Gamer here. What's up? We got a lot of good stuff to talk about tonight. It's going to be funny. Because, I mean, look, that Shadow of War stuff was legit, and that's what I expected. But to see, like, them take shots at the PS4 Pro with the soup textures, that was hilarious, and I had
Isn't
a good
that
time.
Priceless crap? I don't think if we were even in a think tank, we would have been able to come up with this. We have to thank Digital Foundry for hashtag soup.
Oh, dude, I was tweeting out soup and Soupgate, and I put soup in my videos. Like, it was like, genuinely, I enjoy this, and I know like a lot of people don't think that, but it's like I do. I have such a good time with it, and especially, I just absolutely love it. It's funny.
It's a long time coming, Crap.
It is.
You know what? We deserve to laugh a little bit now,
and I'm having a good time. You know, it's and it's funny. You know, and I dig it. I think this is what it's all about. It's like we're a football team or whatever. Our team has rebuilt finally. Now we got the best team, and we're gonna enjoy the fruits of that labor. Yeah. So it's
I wish I thought that was a premature Go Giants. Yeah, right.
Hey, you could go try out for wide receiver, Mooch.
I wouldn't be. I'd be better than Lewis Jr. Listen, here's the next buddy of mine from New York originally. Somehow, some way, he got lost. He's not Magellan. He's Clowns. Clowns, welcome to the show tonight, brother.
Hey, what's going on? It's a pleasure being here. You know, the only thing I want to say, you know what I'm saying? Go Eagles.
Oh God.
Oh, kick him off the show now.
Everybody in New York just shrank a half inch. Holy Jesus Christ, that's awful. Clowns, thanks for being here, bro. I can't wait to get everybody's input.
I'm going to get Seth Joyner to come over to your house and just physically pick you up off that chair and escort you outside, man.
You know what it is? It's the heat that's getting the Clowns. He's born and raised in New York. He hasn't had a decent slice of pizza in fucking years. Somebody get him up here, please. Clowns, I hold nothing against you because you're... Shut that damn dog up! Please. Thank you, Crap. That's cool. I love how you said that. Cloud's immediately muted. That's wonderful. Oh, my buddy from Connecticut, another Northeasterner, Xbot448. Welcome to the show tonight, buddy. I'm glad you're here.
What's going on, people? It's the Xbot448. And guys, I just want to let you know, my little side job, I am the one who created the 4K textures in Shadow of War. So you're welcome, guys. You're welcome.
That's nice.
The PS4 Pro ones or the Xbox One X ones?
No. See, what happened is the ones on the Pro they don't exist. So it's only on the X, man.
Right. Well, you got away with you only had to do half the work then.
Yeah.
So it's great. That's great. Xbox, good to have you here. My buddy, he's known as Boombastic only during the day and Boom at night. Boom, welcome to the show, buddy. How are you?
Hey, man, thanks for having me. This is a stacked panel, and I'm ready to talk about some Evil Within 2.
I'm glad you brought that up.
Did you change your Twitter?
No.
We changed his picture, he did.
Yeah, picture. The picture I did.
Are you sure? Because he's not you're Mr. Boomstick XL, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay, well, you're not following me, and I'm not following you.
I can't tag him anymore.
Yeah, I can't tag him, yeah.
That's interesting.
You're not following me anymore, Boom. We got some beef? Damn.
No, what we got to do is we just have to have your people talk to his people, which is me.
No, I'm sitting here wondering, like, what the hell?
Yeah.
Wait a second. Now, this is very odd. I'm going right to the phone.
Yeah. Well, while those guys figure out their Twitter logistics, I'm going to go to our special guest who we have tonight. I got my buddy, my usual Mr. Noof Nukem, a.k.a. No Chills, folks.
Guys, what's going on? Yeah.
In the room. Yes. Here we are. It's Friday night. Thanks, Mooch, for inviting me on. I wasn't expecting to be on, but I just said to Mooch, hey, man, if the panel's not full, I'm sitting around twiddling my thumbs, all that good stuff. And boy, I don't know about you guys, but is anybody else here feeling like super freaking thirsty lately? Because that salt pile is just stacking up. Oh, my God.
Yes, I saw a couple people actually today earlier at happy hour getting bar pretzels, and they were saltless. It's being used everywhere. So that being said, our special guest tonight, our buddy who makes a lot of classic films. He makes great Xbox and PC videos. Colt Eastwood, welcome to the show, buddy. Good to have you with us tonight.
It's good to be here. And in fact, like my buddy Pippin would say in Lord of the Rings, the salted crow is particularly good.
So good.
It's just great. Digital Foundry zoomed in on this really muddy ground on Shadow of War. I'm like, that looks pretty dry and rocky on the Xbox One X. It's going to be a good show tonight.
Listen, Colt, let's dive right into that. That's a great segue. Let's talk about what we saw yesterday. And what I saw personally from multiple, it was basically the same video that everybody kind of chopped, diced, and redid in their own channels. And watching it, yes, there was that one, of course, which the infamous, this will be known as Soupgate. So we have that going on right now, which is fantastic. It's amazing how we thought, and crap, I'm kind of tapping you on the shoulder here. We didn't think that this day would come, but it is here. We're here now. And for the foreseeable future, every game that comes out, and next Friday is just glorious, right? Next Friday, it doesn't get any better than this. This is what we've been talking about. Now we saw what Phil's envisionment, what he mentioned at E3 2016 is coming to fruition. It's happening. It's happening in front of our eyes. Crap, what did you take away from this video that you saw with Digital Foundry? And what is it that you think that we're going to see moving forward, especially with Assassin's Creed?
I think we're going to see every game that they test be better on the Xbox One X.
Yeah, and that's without a doubt, right?
Yeah, and I think that's going to be an exciting thing for people, because as much as people want to harp on exclusives or that Xbox has no exclusives, because that's going to be the only thing that they're going to be able to drive at this point, right? Mm-hmm. That's irrelevant, because if you look at the exclusive games, how many exclusives do we buy each year for each system? The PS4 and Xbox One, even if they each come out with 5 and you buy all 5, that's only 5. How many multi-plats are you buying? I have like 500 games on my Xbox One.
Right.
I think 30 might be exclusive or console exclusive. You know what I mean?
Right.
So that means 470 aren't. You know what I mean? So obviously, 99.
Hey, crap! The perfect example of what you're trying to explain is this fall alone. How many third-party games that we're all buying?
Pretty much all.
I'm playing South Park. I've got Super Lucky Tales installed. I have 3 championships left in Forza 7 to play. I'm waiting for the X. Assassin's Creed, I have that pre-ordered. Call of Duty, I have it pre-ordered. Battlefront, I have it pre-ordered. So I'm set. You know what I mean? Hell, if I even wanted to, I could get Zoo Tycoon 1.5, and I'm good.
It's easy. It's easy to dismiss it. And I'm gonna get to Colt right now. It's easy to dismiss Colt, but these textures, okay. And the reason I kind of say you is I understand. I kind of put you in the Xbox camp. And just by association, you're in the Xbox camp. But I'm saying, like, you also play on PC, okay? And one of the things that PC guys always say is ultra settings. Can you tell the audience, please? And this is what Digital Foundry was saying yesterday, and I think you've done a video on it. If not, you probably have one in the works. That what we're going to get with the X isn't just 4K. 4K is on the top. That's the top level. But we're getting what is considered the ultra settings on PC. What is that actually that some people don't know? What is it we're getting in this fall?
Well, first off, you're not just getting 4K resolution up-res, that's obvious. Right. We're getting 4K textures. You're getting something on the Xbox that you don't get on a lot of PlayStation 4 Pro games, is ambient inclusion, where you can get like the darkness around objects where they kind of cast their own shadow, or reflected light, volumetric effects, alpha effects, and smoke and particles. Just better draw distances. There's so many things, and when people say ultra PC textures, it's a big blanket statement. It's something you turn on like down the list of things, but really what it's all about, if you're on PC, you want to set that frame rate where it's nice, and you want to make the concessions on your hardware, because as PC gamers you can do that. You make the concessions so you can get the frame rate and get the game looking as good as it can look, and that's what the Xbox One X is doing. And we'll get into the 60 frames thing. There's a lot of games that are 60 frames per second on the Xbox. That's just how it is. Almost every multiplayer game runs at 60 frames, except for Destiny. So.
Which just like everything else that these guys have always said, I say that's a developer's choice. Okay. And the reason I say that, Colt, is my next question is this. People don't like to use the word future-proof. When you say future-proof, people think tinfoil hat. Okay. So let's try to just get it a little bit more technical. And even though it is a theory, this is my thought. Microsoft is well aware that their competitor is going to have the PS5 coming out at some point in time. Okay, that's just the way it is. Like, it's not a big shock. Like, somebody's not going to run in and shake Phil to death and be like, they did it. They actually did it. The PS5's coming. No way. Like, they know it's coming. So my point is how did they make the X something that was going to be future-proof? And what I think is this. We've said this all the time. These consoles are closed boxes, okay? They've got a lot more power under the hood than we think they do. That being said, if we're seeing, okay, 4K 30, and we're seeing these high ultra settings on day one, we're not even at day one, folks, okay? If we're seeing this now, what I'm saying is if the PS5 comes out in 2020 and Microsoft has plans for 2021, okay, Microsoft can kind of sit back, wait a year like they did, trump Sony again, because I don't think whatever the PS5 has, except for CPU, here's where I can stand corrected, okay? The CPU will actually be able to outdo what the X has. But except for that, for 1 year, can't the X kind of keep up with next generation until Xbox is ready to start next generation? That's where I'm coming from.
Yo, definitely. What Microsoft and Xbox have done here with the X machine, this is what I've been saying is that, you know, once we hit around that 2019, 2020 type thing, you know, 2020, 2021, whenever the PS5 decides to come out, it's not going to be that much of a leap ahead of the X. And they can sit back and they'll be like, yeah, no, we got our games in 4K on this one as well, and stuff like that. And they can sit there for a year. They're already working on the next Xbox, which is going to even go above and beyond whatever Sony tries to throw out there with the PS5. And they have a year. They have a year to be able to see it as well.
Yeah, and I agree with you. And that's what I'm talking about, Xbox. The only thing that concerns me is that possibly whatever next gen will be, and this is something that I think even a PC gamer would agree. If we're already there and now the console platforms are aware of how important the teraflops are and all that good stuff, that we're already taking care of. We know the GPU's power. Now the next generation is going to attack the whole 60 frames. And I know some PC will be like, well, we're going to be at 240 frames by then. Well, listen, I don't know, man. I can't even – I think 60 frames is definitely the standard that everyone wants to be at. But that's the one thing next gen will bring.
All right, Mooch, when the next, you ever notice when the next consoles come out? Remember when the 360 first came out? Now, the graphics looked great and everything like that, but they didn't really get a handle on that hardware until a few years into that generation. We know Sony is still in that kind of generational type way of thinking when it comes to the console. So, yeah, it's gonna have a jump to it, but it's not going to be anything like that's mind-blowing, in my opinion. With what I'm seeing when it comes to AMD and their GPUs and stuff like that, I mean, what they might throw the Navi architecture in there by that point in time. But Microsoft, you know, they have a great partnership with AMD. I have a feeling they're going to have their hands on earlier kind of like prototypes or earlier builds of like these chips, and they're going to be able to customize them more. You also got to think about DirectX 12 because that's going to help the X as well.
That's imaginary. That's fake news.
Oh, my goodness.
Come on.
It is the preferred API for gaming developers, man. They don't want to deal with anything.
Man, I got a video call. DirectX 12 is real, and Fable Legends is running it. Come on.
Dude, but it is for real. It will.
I know it's real, dude.
No, Microsoft does have a great relationship with AMD. This is the Xbox One original, okay, the fat edition, all the way up to the current X that's coming out in 3 weeks or less. They all have a custom chip in it. So where Sony's buying pretty much off the shelf. That's the difference too. Is Microsoft always has a little something that, you know, even these guys at Digital Foundry, yes, they understand what the chip is and they know what the chip signifies. They get that. But why Albert Pinello sometimes can't stop grinning when he's talking to these people is because he's aware of what's actually under the chip. These guys know what they put in there. There's always – no one likes the word secret sauce. It's not secret sauce,
I hate
okay?
that word so
I
much.
know.
I used to be on BGST. I'd be like,
I know,
nobody
you did.
say the word secret sauce. It's bull. You know, I don't want to hear that.
Well, listen, if the 7 of us that are here, if we all ended up making some kind of this huge house, but all of a sudden we underneath the cellar put a bunker there for like doomsday or whatever, and everybody's like, well, had my 5 structural engineers go through it. Looks like they got a basement, and that's about it. Okay, well, that's great, asshole. But what you don't realize is when you fucking knock 3 times and move the bookshelf in the fucking basement, the bunker appears. Okay, so what I'm saying to you is that these guys designed this thing. They designed it. And with that being said, there is always a little extra juice they can pull out of this thing. And that I'm not saying more juice than what we know, like it can do something superior, like 60 frames all the time. I'm just saying all I think is it's important with these mid-gen is I think the mid-gen is more important than the next number to follow because the mid-gen has to trump the competitors' next maybe early attack. You see what I'm saying?
Mooch,
Yes.
with the X, it's only got to like really last that year or so. So you're dealing with the
1 year,
quote
that's
unquote launch lineup
That's
of PlayStation, and we know from this generation, even before that previous generation with the PS3. PlayStation's launch lineup is abysmal.
Yes.
Usually. You see what I'm saying?
Yes.
So like they don't really have to deal with too much within that year before they come out with the next Xbox, which of course is going to be forwards and backwards compatible as well. They put themselves in the driver's seat now, and it's going to take like a crowbar the size of Manhattan to kind of wedge them out of it now. You know what I'm saying?
Well, I'm going to ask a question because I'm going to tie in what we're talking about with the X into what's happening right now. There's a little something going on Twitter. A lot of people are writing everybody, and I want to ask Noof. I want to get Boom in here. I want to get Clowns. I want to ask you guys, what is it you think? Are you guys waiting for Shadow of War and Assassin's Creed Origins? Are you guys waiting until the 7th, or are you guys going to purchase this thing next Friday and start playing it? Is anyone playing Shadow of War right now?
Yeah, I actually put it down. I put about 30 hours into it, and I got into deep into the second act, and that was broadsided by The Evil Within 2, which is unbelievable. But I really think I'm going to wait on a lot of these quality titles. Yeah. Like I still have South Park I haven't started, and I think that's
one that you know why I'm playing that, Boom, is because that's not going to get a that's not getting a patch. It doesn't really need one or anything.
Right? Exactly. Yeah, it looks. I mean, again, if you're a fan of the show, I am. It looks like the show, so it's not going to get any better than what you're seeing. So if you're going to get the Assassin's Creed, you're going to get the Wolfenstein. You're gonna, you're sitting on Forza. Like Crap has a few races to go. You're gonna.
Yeah, I did 3 of the 6 on the S, and then I'm gonna do the other 3 on the X.
And it's gonna be worth the wait.
Yeah,
it really.
I mean, the game looks great on the S. It does. Yes, it looks fantastic. Runs fantastic. That was a game that I was like, man, I'm gonna boot this thing up on the X. I know it's got those textures and stuff. I'm looking forward to it. Same thing with Shadow of War. I'm 17 of 20 missions in the first one, or Shadow of Mordor, excuse me, the first game. I've got 17 of the 20 done. I'm gonna finish that, and then I'll buy Shadow of War so that I'll have it when the X comes out. So playing it right before the other one, I think will give me kind of a little bit of a better advantage.
I think you're right. I mean, I asked people with Evil Within if I should have played the first one before I started playing the second one. They said, well, not really. And to be honest with you, I think Evil Within 2 does a decent job of explaining some of the oddities and craziness that happened at the hospital in the first one, and now you're not in that. Yeah, you're not in that scenario here. Anybody who's played Shadow of Mordor, and I know, Crap, you're 17 to 20 in, but I know that. And Colt, are you playing Shadow of War right now?
Yep.
Okay. Did you play the first one?
Of course, yeah. I'd love it.
What's the similarities? What's the oddities? What's the difference?
I don't know. I think they doubled up the offering in this game. It's got the enemies are 2 times more. Have more variety. You drop gear and loot from taking out enemies. There's a currency thing going on. You can disassemble your stuff and trade in for currency. There's fortress attacks. You can be attacked. There's online vendettas, which are really awesome.
Yeah, they are great.
It's a really fun game.
Okay, so now listen, guys, I've said this, and I'm going to mellow it out a little bit here. I mean, listen, not everybody is destined to pick up every single game that's coming out in the next 3 weeks. Okay, guys,
unless
4 weeks.
You're Homestick or Crap Gamer. So
I was just going to say there's 2 exceptions to the rule. There's 2 exceptions to the rule, and they're both on this panel, which is very odd, right? That's like hitting the fucking lotto and then the next day hitting a scratch off. Yeah, they're all here,
I'm gonna have
folks.
to be the fraud here, guys. I saved my money for Super Mario Odyssey.
Yes.
So, yeah.
Well, yes, we're gonna get to that new because I'm right there with you. I'm playing the shit out of Odyssey over the next starting from next Friday to the Friday after or Tuesday after until the X comes out. But what I'm saying here is that like with Wolfenstein 2 coming out. Boy, that Stein just doesn't sound right.
It's Stein.
Wolfenstein. We've really got to get a German on here.
Just call it Wolfenstein and everybody will be happy. There you go.
That's great. But I mean, I think we have to kind of pick and choose here. And I'm leaning towards Assassin's Creed Origins. That game just looks fantastic. I think that it's really the calling card for the X. I think if you really, really want to get your full money's worth day one and start playing a game that is just knock you off the couch from the looks, the feel, the 4K textures, the whole nine. I think it's Assassin's Creed. Now, what would you guys say that are playing Shadow of War? Would you rebuttal? Would you say that that's not true? I think Shadow of War, depending on your gameplay or your game style, maybe that's the game.
Shadow of War has better combat, I think, than what we're looking at for, they've changed Assassin's Creed to like a hitbox. You have to kind of parry and attack, but the enemies are leveled in Origins, so I don't know. Like, you've got the Batman style combat in Shadow of War. I don't know. What do you think, guys?
I think they're kind of similar. They just have different environments to them. Yeah. So do you want to go into ancient Egypt or do you want to go into Lord of the Rings territory? And some people want to do
good
both,
point.
Another thing is Shadow of War is broken up into like 4 or 5 segmented like huge worlds. And Origins will be like one gigantic world where you can walk from one corner to the next if you want, and ride a camel while you're doing it.
Yeah. Myself personally, I'm a little bit more gung-ho for Assassin's Creed, only for one reason, and crap knows this, I've said it on multiple podcasts. I haven't really got into any Assassin's Creed. This is the first one that's really got my interest peaked because I think the way that they changed the gameplay, they changed everything up a little bit. They tweaked a few things that I would consider annoying in the past. Like, I mean, there's still the stealth element, but I don't mind that if it's just narrowed down. If it's the stealth element that's like walk across town, now quietly walk all the way back. And you're like, holy shit, I fell asleep.
Am I the only one on the panel that will quite possibly not get either one of these?
Wow.
You might be, dude.
Yeah.
Dude,
yeah.
Well, but do you have a 4K TV?
It doesn't matter.
Well, no, I mean, I was just wondering, like, for me, it was like, hey, I got a 4K TV. I wanna these games look like they're really
I have the showpiece. First of all, no, I have standard HD, which is why I am getting the X day one because of the super sampling and everything like that. The games are still gonna look the best they can.
Yeah,
look
I mean, it's still gonna look great.
And I already have the showpiece for that when it comes to Forza. I'm a big exclusive guy, to be really honest with you. I do buy multi-plats. We do have Destiny 2. We're looking forward to getting the new Call of Duty when it comes out. But for the most part, I like to focus on the exclusives because I feel like those development teams like extract the most out of the system. Well, do you now you see what I'm saying? I have Cuphead and I have Forza 7. Like
Cuphead ain't gonna look no better though. That's not. I mean, that even on PC, you could have a $1 million PC that's gonna look exactly the same as the S version.
When people come over to the house and they see the X, I have the showpiece for that. And let's face it, guys, Forza Motorsport 7. What they've done with that, even the skybox, you see the movement in the clouds, how they actually like move and form and change. Like, I have never seen that in a racing game before, so natural. And it's amazing how all those little details put together while you're racing around the tracks add to the immersion so much. It makes it look so realistic. I know that when people come over the house and I'm playing this game, they're just going to like stop what they're doing and start staring at the TV.
That's probably, and that's a shame because with all these great games coming out, I'm going to buy Forza 7, but I'm pretty sure if anyone looks at their friends list on November 7th, you're probably not going to see Mooch playing Forza 7.
Mooch will be busy playing everything else. You're not You're not a motorsports fan. So,
no, I'm not even a car nut. Like, listen, I've always liked nice cars to drive.
I'm a car nut.
I've always like been like, hey, bro, here's my keys, fix it. You know, like I'm just not that kind of guy. On Sunday, I don't really find it fun to get on, you know, a piece of wood with 4 wheels under it and slide underneath the fucking car. That's not my idea of a good time. But I mean, other people love that, and I think that's great. I think anyone's release is awesome, and I think cars is. I kind of wish I was into it. That's the thing. I kind of wish that was my thing. But the game is absolutely stunning. The game is definitely a showpiece. And I don't know. Like I said, that's probably something. I'm just waiting to see if that. Go ahead.
We got a German in the chat. He says German heritage here, Mooch, and you're pronouncing it wrong. Sorry, bro.
Where is it? Well, listen. All right. So to the guy in the chat, I want you to know something. We all know a lot of Bernsteins.
Oh God!
How come Bernstein it's spelled the same way as Stein, but it said Steen?
Yeah.
Why can't it be? Well, and listen, guys,
Ben Stein, right? Ben Stein's money.
Yeah, but Ben Stein is it Stein for Ben Stein?
I think it's the same spelling.
Is it? I don't know. Ben Stein cannot be German.
Yeah, okay. Imagine this, Mooch. You know how it annoys you when people call it Mario instead of Mario?
Is it the same way?
It's the same.
Yes, I think so.
I don't think it's the same.
I do.
Come on.
I don't think it's the same. Listen, because here's the thing. Mario, okay, let's think about it, everybody. Mario rolls off the tongue. Mario. Okay, now Mario. It's almost like you have to stand up when you say it. Mario. Okay, it doesn't sound right. Now hear me out. Wolfenstein, it just rolls off the tongue. Wolfenstein. I gotta stand up again.
It rolls off the tongue because you've been saying it that way since you were 10 years old. Hey, how about this? If Wolfenstein, what if Wolfenstein is native 4K 60 on the X? What if?
Oh,
fellas?
come on.
It should be. Dude, to be really honest,
it's a linear corridor shooter.
Yes. It's what
do you think?
Here's the first thing, Colt. The first one was 1080 60 on the Xbox One.
Yeah.
Although it did okay, quote unquote, drop down a bit for the cutscenes or what the hell ever, but still, the X was designed to run games that were running from 900 to 1080p at 4K on the X. So it wouldn't surprise me if this is dynamic and hits 4K a lot. I wouldn't want to say that it's going to be total 4K all the time, because then everybody would be like, Crap Gamer in that one podcast said that it was going to be 4K the whole time, and it dropped here, and here.
Bro, you guys take notes right now. Write it down. Xbot 448 is saying, like, I'm going right off what I think here. 4K 60 for Wolfenstein 2. All right.
Yes.
I didn't get into the first one. I didn't get into the first one, but it was 1080 60.
It's fantastic.
I beat the first one handsomely, and I loved it. I actually started it again.
Great game.
With Xbot, it being so linear, like I can see
linear. Now that's a new. We can't keep changing every word, folks.
Linear.
It's linear.
Linear.
Yes, it is
this is turning into a Seinfeld episode fast.
Jesus, it is. You know what? Hellheimer says linear too. And I'm like, you mean linear?
No soup for you.
No soup for you. You know what, Mooch? Let me just say this. As excited as all being Xbox guys, right? We're all excited for the games. You know what I'm more excited for than
what do you got?
I'm more excited to start seeing every big AAA third-party game get broken down side by side with the PS4 Pro.
Oh, absolutely.
That's what I'm more excited.
But you know, I'll be honest with you, and a lot of people bring this up to me and crap. They're like, "What are you guys now, Digital Foundry fans?" You know, it's kind of hard when for 3 years you go to this channel. They've been taking a white glove out and smacking you across the face to all of a sudden like these guys. Let me put it this way. I'm able to watch it and humor it at this point because now they're just, you know, the thing about it before was that bothered me, and I think Crap will agree to this, and anybody who's an Xbox fan will tell you this. It's not that I ever discredited what they did. They knew what they were doing. They have the equipment to read what they were reading. My point is this. They would get to a 1080p. They'd be like, well, clearly, as you could see when we're done with our analysis, that the PS4 and the Xbox One both have 1080p. Resolution, looking fantastic. Both of them locking in roughly at around 30 frames. We did notice that the Xbox would drop maybe once in the beginning and once at the end of the game. So we have to give the win by default to the PS4. And I'm like, listen, buddy, nobody's asking you for your opinion on the grass or a freckle on Frodo. Nobody cares.
I thought the grass thing with GTA was like a joke to make fun of how stupid this whole thing had gotten. right? They're like, there's more grass right here. Here's a picture. And there was like literally like a bushel of grass more, like a small little one.
Right.
You know what I mean? And I'm like, I was like, this is just a joke, right? They're playing on people, but people ran with it. Like, oh my God, the PS4, it's the definitive version. It's got that grass right there, but they were both 1080p. Yeah, but the PS4 version has that grass.
Okay,
I was just like, wow.
Digital Foundry didn't earn anything from me yet. Like, I saw what they did with Shadow of War, and to me, it looked like, man, they were in pain to put that video out. And I still even heard at the end of the video, well, when it comes to other multiplats down the line, we're going to have to see how the Pro performs with going up against the Xbox One X. So just stay tuned. It's like they don't want to like realize.
Well,
that
they
are.
I mean, they make money off that stuff. So I mean, you know what I mean. They're going to want people to, you know, they're really going to want people to be curious and check it out, right?
Here's where we have to be super real, because for 2 or 3 years, you know, you guys have all watched all of these GameSpot, IGN, and Digital Foundry comparisons, you know, on your phone or wherever, right? Especially on your phone. I want to point out to on your phone when they put the side by side Xbox One, PS4, and PC. Let's take a game like Far Cry 4, like they compared them. And I remember showing so many people, like, can you tell the difference? And everyone, even in the comment section the past year, it's been like, honestly, why are they still doing these? Because I can't tell the difference. Yesterday was the first time you could tell the demonstrative difference on a cell phone which version was better looking, and that PS4 Pro version looked awful next to the Xbox One X.
Not only that, here's the thing though, the PS4 Pro version just by itself, when you just play it, doesn't look bad per se, but when you just hold it next to the Xbox One X version, it looks like it's a cross-gen game, right? It looks like a difference between a 360 version of Forza Horizon 2 and the Xbox One version of Forza. That's what it looked like to me. And the funny thing was people noticed it, and you could tell by their comments. You could just tell the way that people were acting like, even NeoGaf, who were flipping out. You could just tell that they were just like, oh my gosh, it's really gonna. Dude, it was like, dude, this thing hit 10 pages in the first like hour. People were just like, some people were salty, like, well, of course, it's $100 more. What do you expect? Yeah. And then some people were like, well, actually, some people even said it didn't even look that different.
No,
you know
no.
What I mean? Like,
there's a guy that started a thread that said, I actually prefer my textures to be blurred out. When they're really sharp, you can see all those jaggy details, and I think it looks better on the Pro when it's blurry. And I said, you might want to knock your Zenith TV around a little better and get the cathode ray tube fixed.
Yeah, kick your Magnavox, buddy.
Is he the same guy that said he likes women's boobs better without nipples? Like, what's the
chill. Yeah. You know, I think that Noob should be able to say anything he wants. It's Friday night. This is almost the NC-17 version of podcasting. Guys, listen, you know what? I think what we're going to do throughout the rest of this podcast, it'll all kind of come back to this original story. But I want to move on to because this will kind of lead into what is going to be everyone's hypothesis moving forward for October and November. Let's talk about NPD for a little bit here. We've got the NPD sales that came out. Nintendo, again, handsomely wins. Why are people shocked? I mean, is everybody that's a gamer been born? Were they born yesterday? Listen, the reason Nintendo won is the Xbox One X. Everyone's holding out for. That goes for PlayStation people that want to jump ship and come back. It goes for the hardcore Xbox, and it goes for some of the people that want to update what they have. Maybe some people are even sold on the PS3 and 360. They are still selling those games in GameStop as we speak. My point being is, right now, Nintendo is a genius in the fact that they've been dangling a carrot called on a stock. It's not in stock anywhere. It's not in stock anywhere. And then all of a sudden you hear it's in stock and you see lemmings. You see tons and tons of lemmings driving their cars right into GameStop and be like, I'll take 8. And you're like, okay, I just want to get all of the ones you have because I heard you didn't have them. And that's the way things are going down. And I wonder if Xbox is kind of doing that with the X and saying, hey, you know what, we're not, because I think I saw Crap's video today, and he was saying that now if you pre-order an Xbox One X, that your console will come November 30th or beyond.
You know what the funny thing was a lot of people were like, really, Crap? And like, because some people were like, oh man, Crap, I managed to snag one. And then I had a handful of people message me and go, you know what, their thing says I would get it only by the 30th now. Now, you know what I mean? So now if you pre-order, there's no guarantee that you get one on the 7th. Yeah, they're saying by the 30th.
Exactly, and earmuffs crap. But Apple does that all the time. Like, I'm going to be getting up at 3 a.m. Damn you, Apple, for taking the West Coast priority over East Coast. But we in New York have to get up at 3 a.m., I believe, on October 27th to order our iPhone 10. And to be honest with you, if you don't do it at 3, the people are like, well, fuck that. I don't need that. I got a phone that works. I'll wait. You can do that. You're, again, it's a free country. Do whatever you want. But if you do that, you're going to have to wait. You'll notice that if you get up at 6 a.m., 7 a.m., 8 a.m., you're not going to get it on launch day. You'll see that it'll come the end of November or December. Or it'll come into 2 months, depending on how late you wait in pre-order. Same thing here with the Xbox One X. That makes total sense to me. But what I kind of want to get back to the NPD, and I want to hear everybody in the panel's opinion here, is these Nintendo numbers. Everyone's like, well, I think Nintendo's just going to clean house all fall. And I'm like, well, no, slow down. Everybody slow down. Everybody take a seat and take your Mario hat off for a minute, will you? Mario. Mario. It's not Mario. But, the thing about it is this, is that the X is going to surprise people. The reason PS4, do you think that magically PlayStation just grew gamers out of a fucking pot? I mean, these people didn't just come out of nowhere. These were 360 customers that went over to the PS4.
Yep.
Okay? That's what happened. And now that the power narrative has changed, nobody's getting on social media being like, fuck PlayStation, I'm going over. But it's happening, folks.
Well, no,
happening.
Actually, I disagree. There are people saying that. And even the ones that are like, no, I'm not going to, I'd never do that. They're going to do it too. You're doing it, I'm doing it, we're all doing it.
Power sells, regardless of what the ponies are telling you.
And you know what happened to me last night? I have this PS5 is coming in 2019 video that was just under
1 million views. Thanks for letting us know, Colt.
I just thought I'd let you guys know when it's coming. Mark's he's like, excellent. So that video was just under 2 million views. And last night, about 24 hours now, that video has gotten about 12,000 views. I got a spike in views. And I'm like, the Shadow of War video just dropped from Digital Foundry, and everyone rushed to YouTube, waiting to see when this darn PS5 is going to come out and stomp a mid-generation refresh Microsoft box.
Yeah, well, no. Listen, Jamie Moran just tweeted out because he monitors this stuff. I mean, that's what he does. That people are like, PlayStation 5 coming in 2019 now. Fuck. They're like, people are like, yeah, you know what I mean? That like, this is what they want. Like they can't stand it. But guess what? We're just in this endless cycle now where Microsoft will, if that were true, which I don't think it is, I still think 2020. And then I think the Xbox Scorpio 2 comes out shortly after that. So, I mean, they would have a slight advantage, if that, for a year, because the bottom line is they're going to do 4K and be able to do 4K textures, which is shit the Xbox One X can already do. Here's the problem. If the Pro had more memory and bandwidth where it could do textures, the resolution would be fucking irrelevant. People don't understand that. It's not so much the resolution difference that we're seeing. It's the fact that we got the better textures and stuff like that. You know what I mean? Like people, because Sony was like, hey, we tubed everybody into this 1080p bullshit. Nobody can tell the difference really, but we got people thinking it's everything. So let's go ahead and put out a resolution box. And they just basically use their 1080p assets and make them a higher resolution. That's not making your stuff actually look any better, though, So for me, they really did a disservice to their fans, and their fans are the ones that are bending over for.
What a great point, because stop and think about what Crap just said for a second, folks. What they did with the Pro was completely and utterly a money grab, because nobody has a 1440p TV.
It is 100% a VR thing, I think.
It is 110% a VR thing, which, by the way, PlayStation World is calling VR dead and a flop. So that's PlayStation World.
They just announced, Sony just announced a trailer with 60 games coming. Come on.
That's great. I don't know about you guys, but I can't wait to play beer pong with my headset on.
Listen, well, you guys want to know a really good slap? This was the other day, and I think it was Boomstick that replied to me. I put a posting up, of Spider-Man Homecoming. I bought the 4K UHD version of it. I said, I can't wait to watch this on my Xbox One S. And I think it was Boomstick replies after. He's like, how embarrassing that was it a Sony console can't even play a Sony-made movie.
Yeah.
Unless you buy it digitally, of course, which is
I hear what you're saying.
Strong arm in the consumer. Again, for the players, it's not.
Again, I want to point out this too, right? Like a lot of people, when you bring up even PC dudes, when they come at me, which surprisingly it's not very much. I don't really care about PC, but I'm like, yeah, man, get me everything the X does in a small case like that with a 4K Blu-ray player and a controller and everything for $499, man, and I'll switch today. And nobody can do it, and they're like, well, you don't even need a 4K Blu-ray. But I'm like, look, My console is the hub to my entertainment. Of course it needs a 4K Blu-ray.
Absolutely.
4K Blu-rays.
Listen, if we don't need it, can someone explain to me why Target and Walmart, the two largest brick and mortars in the country, pretty much have like 18 rows of fucking hard discs fucking sitting everywhere?
Come on, to Best Buy, because you know what I mean. And I was looking to get some 4K Blu-rays, and I did.
They have a whole section dedicated to that.
They do, and you know what? Those are the sections that almost are always empty all the time. Everybody's buying them.
Yes,
you know,
because people still like physical media, and you know what? You're right. It is your entertainment hub, and if you want to play a disc, you have the option to do that.
That's it. But Coach just nailed it. It looks better. It looks better.
The bit rate is always better on the physical disc. And again, it comes down to your internet connection and stuff like that. You see that with Netflix all the time too. When you're streaming, that sometimes you'll get drops in your connection. You can literally see the resolution dip in and out. Who wants to sit down and watch that crap?
Yeah. Yeah. Well,
exactly. Hey, Noof, that is exactly my point. That's my problem that I have with streaming games too. Right? Is because that same stuff happens, and there's input lag as well with the reactions, but. Not only just that, but like you said, like my internet's been shored up a lot lately over the last year, like 30 down or something. It's not great, but it's much better than the 10 or 12 that I was getting. So the fact that, now I can actually like stream some 4K stuff, but you could tell it'll drop here. You know what I mean? Like it's nowhere near as good as what my 4K Blu-rays. That's why I still buy the 4K Blu-rays, even though they're kind of expensive. But you can always find them on sale.
Yeah, you can get deals, especially on Amazon.
Or you can buy them and download them off like the different stores and stuff. You know what I mean? Because I've just noticed that those, like when you just the disc, something about it looks better, it sounds better. Same thing with CDs for me.
What do you guys? Well, crap. What do you think though? Real quick, I want to ask your opinion though. What do you think about November? I mean, who's going to win October, November, December?
Man, you know what? Here's the problem that I have. Right, Nintendo really set up the Switch with Mario at the end of October. It's hard saying. If they have enough available, then I think that Nintendo could possibly win. But
shout out to Rand, right? Crap. Rand said I want to add this, and I want to hear your opinion. But Rand said that in his latest video, I heard him say that Nintendo's ready to ramp up, so they'll have 2 million Switches ready per month. Yeah. So if that's the case, that's it? It's closed case. I think about it. Aren't we almost guaranteed that the pre-orders are over 1 million on the X?
I'd say double that.
Maybe worldwide, but I don't know about the US. The US might not be that many, but I mean they normally sell about 1 million of the regulars anyway. The main problem that I have is if you look at if you believe the rumors for this past MPD, the Xbox One did terribly bad again, under 100K in the US. That is horrible for a September. Right.
But you know what though? I really think, crap. To be honest with you, people are waiting up for the X, man. I really do.
I think so too. But then why is Phil and everybody going? No, it's not going to be the best one. It's like it's not for everybody. Like they reiterated that, and it's not the only reason why you're doing that. Maybe could be for the investor factor in case. But man, like if you're Phil, you got to be saying this thing's for everybody. Just like you think Apple goes out there and goes, the iPhone X isn't for everybody. No. You don't do that, right? You don't. You go, everybody's going to want this. This is the it product. Come buy it. And I do. And sometimes, again, Phil's great. He's done a great job turning around the Xbox. But sometimes, as a businessman, he kind of leaves me scratching my head. And that's one of those times when he's like, it's not for everybody.
He actually should be out there with a megaphone that if you want the best of the best of the best, come here.
That's kind of my problem with a lot of the Microsoft staff, right? I mean, they're playing into the media. They know the way the gaming media is. They're one-sided, one-minded. They don't think outside the box ever. So Phil has to come out and be careful, because if Phil says this is the console you need moving forward, if he said that, what would the gaming media do? You already know, guys, right? Oh my God, Microsoft wants me. They want me to spend $500. Who are you to tell me that I need to spend $500? Shun them. I want 1440p. Give me a tattoo above my right shoulder blade now. And that's what happens, is that you have this nonsense that goes on in the media, so they have to tap this. But crap is actually right. Folks, if you're listening to this show, even if you don't like the show, you're supposedly, right, because that's what you write to us all the time on Twitter. I'm a gamer. Mooch, I'm a gamer. So if my first word wasn't mom or dad, it was gamer. Okay, great. I believe you. But if you're going to say that to me, then don't tell me that $500 is a lot of money for the next 4 years. How is that a lot of money?
I don't think it is. Like, I used to think that way, but look, this is a different time than back in my day when people were really confused by tech. What's the difference? You know, when I was a kid, I need that Sega Genesis. Why? It's 16-bit.
Right.
Well, you have a Nintendo. Well, yeah, but this is 16-bit. You know, like you can't explain that. Like people know now because we've kind of that whole phone thing and all. You know, it's really kind of progressed to where, for the most part, we're intelligent enough to know that it's something that's better. And they've done a really good job with that. And hey, we got over 450 watching. Hit that like button. Don't be shy, folks.
I appreciate that. I like how crap is my likes police. Go ahead, Noof.
I was just going to say, you know what? The one thing that's guaranteed, I'm pretty sure the Xbox One X is going to have a fantastic November and December, regardless of where it falls in the stature of the MPD numbers. But honestly, I think Nintendo is going to give everyone a super run, and I'll tell you why I think that. Because one, Nintendo appeals to a broad range of people, whereas I find Xbox and PlayStation technically are more geared towards the adult audience per se. It's also because it's going to be cheaper, and price tags always look better to parents when they're buying a product at the store level over anything else. It comes down to price and what you get for it. Mario is getting bundled in next week as well, in with the bundles. So that's
I'm getting that game too, FYI.
Yeah, everyone is. Hey, listen, if we're all gamers, we're all going to play a Mario game. That's it, right?
I'm actually excited. I'm not going to say, Noof, I don't mean to cut you off, but I'm actually excited for Mario. I'm not going to lie to you. I got to say, of all the games coming out this fall, Mario's in my top 3 games that I can't wait to play.
Oh, did you follow me back?
That's just the thing. The Mario games have always been system sellers, guys. The Mario games have always generally, like the big title that comes out for every Nintendo console with Mario on it is generally a system mover. It's the kind of game that a lot of people often buy a Nintendo just to play, just like they did back in March when everybody bought a Switch to play one game, and that was The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild.
Can somebody send Phil this segment with Noof and I talking and crap, so he can hear it, so he understands that when Mario comes out for the Switch, it will sell consoles.
Yes.
Phil, this just in. Exclusives sell consoles.
Halo 6.
I don't know why, right?
Yeah, that's just, and neither Sony or Xbox have, like right now in November month, they got great third-party support. Great, granted. But neither one of them have that must-have title this November that you say, I need to have an Xbox or a PlayStation for that game. Am I right? I mean, Forza's great, but Forza's never been traditionally a game that went and sold consoles.
Noof, you're going to get me to agree with you 110% because Forza's, I know Xbox here, and that's all right. I don't blame you for wanting to argue that. I agree with him, and I'm a diehard. Listen, I've been playing games for such a long time. I've been playing racing games since RC Pro-Ham was fucking considered old. My point is that, like, Forza's not, like, I can't wait to go get the X because I want to go play Forza. That's not, I think the consensus of the many would agree with that.
See, I know the new hardware is dropping, and I know it's going to sell well. But the thing is, when you look at the hardcore Nintendo people, man, they support first party like no other, and it's because for a long time Nintendo had nothing but first party, and their first party got so iconic. And it's funny how I believe Noof said how like Nintendo kind of caters to the more childlike and stuff like that. When I feel that the child is not the one who's getting this mostly, I feel it is the people who are around like our age and stuff like that who grew up around Nintendo. So you have adults buying the kid-like games.
Listen, I showed up. Xbox, let me just prove your case, okay? Yeah. I'm going to prove your point. I showed up for the SNES Classic. First of all, of course, there's
8 hours before the store opened.
No, it wasn't 8 hours. I got there about an hour. It happened to be my day off. I don't know how the fuck that landed on the right day, but it worked out. But I got there.
Yeah, Mooch got one. I didn't.
Yeah, I know, right? And, listen, I got news for you, man. I am loving it because I even went out and bought the wireless controllers that come with it. It's stellar, but that's another point. But my thing is, while I'm standing in line, sorry about that crap. But while I'm standing there in line, not only was it all adults, like they were not like, I asked everybody, it was like, because they only had 12. So the 12 people after that, like everyone else was getting kind of, the management there was like, sorry guys, we only got 12. So they didn't let other people stand in line. But I asked them, I'm like, are you guys playing this like for yourselves or is this for like your kids? And every one of them, I shit you not. And there was nobody there pretty much. I think there was one person under 30 there. Everybody else was like, no, it's for me, dude. Like, all right. Wow. They're like, I'm going to go get a fucking huge sandwich after this, go home, crush that sandwich and play this thing all day long. Just, with a family, we were playing it last night. We were playing Donkey Kong Country. It was fantastic, man. It's a lot of fun, but you're right, Xbot. A lot of people are going to pick up the Switch. I'm one of these people. I'm a statistic. And Mario out of nostalgia. Yeah. And the kids, my kids have no interest in Call. I don't know about you guys or anybody else on the panel. I was like, hey, Mario's coming out next week. And they're like, eh. Like nobody cares.
The kids in this house, if I bring it up, they're like, oh, cool. Like, I really want to play that.
Yeah, but then they walk away and play with a fucking a thing of like Green Army men on the floor. They don't even care.
They do Roblox or Minecraft.
Yes, that's
Roblox
what that
is the worst game.
Roblox and Minecraft are what the kids play day in and day out.
My kids are playing Sunset Overdrive and Slime Rancher. That's like the hit of last month.
Nice. Slime Rancher, huh? That was a freebie. I like that.
That's kind of cool. Yeah. When I watch them play, it's like this is No Man's Sky with an actual point.
Mooch, you know what's really going to be interesting? I don't think it's going to be this holiday because, like I said, with the pre-orders and everything like that, we know the X is going to sell well. Who comes in 1, 2, 3, 52 or whatever? Yeah. I don't really care. Now, next year, 2018, with games like Sea of Thieves, State of Decay 2, Crackdown, Forza Horizon 4.
I don't know if we can say that though, Xbox. This is very important
anymore. Halo, what's up with Halo? Nobody ever knows.
But crap,
Halo 6 2018. Let's go.
We've got to dissect what Xbox just said a second there. You can't neglect and let November go. They need to win November, and that's the bottom line.
Yes,
I mean they do, man. That would be a hell of a comeback because if you look at September, man. Nintendo had 2/3 of the hardware sales thanks to the 3DS, the Switch, and then the SNES Mini. 2/3.
Wow.
Think about
two
that.
portables out of 3. That's amazing.
Yeah, 2/3. Well, no, they count the Switch as a home console.
Oh, the Switch is a handheld, man.
I'm saying is the only time I've ever used it. The only time I've used it is as a handheld was during the hurricane. I'm just saying.
That's you, though, man. For those 3 hours, you were happy. I remember.
Wait, now, Xbot, are you using it as a handheld? You are?
Yeah.
I almost never do.
I use it as a home console.
I keep it docked the whole time.
You know what's a great game? Like, it's funny. Playing Splatoon 2 with it as a handheld, me and O Snaps did that. And, like it's fun because we're standing up with the thing, and we're around, we're literally turning ourselves around, tilting the Switch unit itself and stuff like that. It was funny, man. We should probably record ourselves because we could probably that video will probably go viral.
Here's my biggest problem. I can walk through Dark Souls like an absolute chieftain, and then I look like that John Travolta gif in fucking Splatoon, looking left and right, like, what the fuck do I do? Like, there's fucking paint all over the place. Like, no, Dad, hit the fucking paint. More paint. I'm like, there's paint everywhere. No more paint. I don't know how that ever. When I first saw that come out, I thought it was great to see Nintendo come out with some sort of a shooter, and I literally, under my breath, was like, this is gonna suck. But for some reason, it became a sensation.
Yeah. Oh man,
I'm glad it did. I'm glad it did.
Snaps loves that game.
I have to be honest, it is. It's really.
You know what sucks though? Crap is so your Xbox says that Snaps likes it, you like it, but you know what stinks? Because Nintendo won't just fucking get their act in order and get a decent online system. None of us get to enjoy
there is
some of these
good
games.
News. They are allowing in the latest updates USB headsets. So that could be a bit of a tale that they're actually just going to go with some kind of chat. You know what I mean? I mean, look, they're doing well. They're selling extremely well. Get the chat straightened out. Get a decent online service.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Just allow people to talk to each other, you know?
Please. I can't help but agree with you at all. I really
because even if I knew, I know you and Noof and people on Nintendo, but it's not like we get booted. This is what we'd have to do. Because I don't have a phone that supports that shit anyway. We'd have to get on Xbox Live, and then we'd have to hop on our Switch. You know what I mean? That's what we'd have to do to communicate, and then we'd have to keep pushing the thing on the button on our controller on the Xbox to keep it from going idle.
Timing out,
yeah.
I mean, that's exactly what we'd have to do, or you'd have to use like Skype or something. But it's like it's ridiculous, you know.
I hate to use the words that everybody uses in the industry, but it takes you out of the game. It really does.
Yeah.
It really.
I don't undock mine either. But good news is Mario's going to be 1080p, guys. That's all the rage.
Oh, that's right. That is correct. That is
correct. 1080p Mario nipples for everybody.
Yes.
Welcome to 2003.
Yeah, right.
Back in the day when I was young, wanted to go next door. I had to go over and see Mr. Cliff's. Go to next door to Mr. Cliff's house, knock on his door just to ask him if I could come upstairs and bang his daughter.
No,
chill. Nintendo got to get with the program, man.
Well, listen, I know we went on a Nintendo slant, but this whole NPD thing really does kind of come full circle into that. I think that, and I'll end it with this. I think Microsoft has to. It's imperative that they win November and December. If they don't, listen, console sales always spike in the beginning. You don't see them spike up 6 months later. Yes, an exclusive like Halo would definitely spike sales, but that's 1 month. They need to see some sort of you need to see a few more blips in the radar than just once every 6 months. So with that being said, I hope they do that. I do want to keep on Microsoft. It seems that, and I think Aaron Greenberg's been tweeting it out. Crap did a video about it. It looks like we're going to see some advertising once and for all. Finally, holy shit, thank God. But The Walking Dead, there's rumors that The Walking Dead
starts. It's not rumors, they said.
Is it? Okay. I haven't seen it confirmed. I saw.
Yeah, Mike Nichols and Greenberg came out and commented it's also going to be on the Sunday Night Football game as well.
Yes. Yeah. So we're going to see X commercials. We're going to see the big launch, right? So starting this Sunday, which is finally, it's about time, right?
Yeah, I agree.
And it's the same places that we see the Xbox commercials all the time anyway.
Well, that's fine because you got to think about it though, Xbox. You have to cater to your X. You have to cater to your audience, right? I mean, people who like gaming are probably sci-fi people as well, right? You know what I mean? You're not going to see it on National Geographic's channel. So, I mean, it's going to be, you know what I mean? And now the whales will mate. But first, this from Xbox. No, it's not going to happen. So, I mean, you're going to see something happen here from the Walking Dead is a big crop of people to see it and follow. So, what do you guys think? Do you think this is enough? Are you going to hope that we see this through the football season, progressing through the holiday? I mean, you know the way that Xbox does this, man. They do a big splash sometimes. They remind me of the Macy's Day, like fucking 4th of July. It's just for 5 minutes, and then it's just fucking over. And you're like, all right, what the fuck did I drive to New York City for this? You know, I mean, it's over in a few minutes.
They need to be continuous like the 360 was. Man, the 360 was absolutely everywhere. If you watch YouTube, there was 360 advertisements. If you watch, I don't know, The View, in between that, there was Xbox 360. Like, they have to go back to that type of marketing scheme. And it's good to see that, Microsoft, they threw more money into that budget. There's new hardware coming out. So they took that money for the marketing and they made commercials from it. Now you have to put that in heavy rotation all the way around. Man.
Yes. Also, you know what? Here's the thing. We're always talking about what could Microsoft do to sell consoles. And Crap and I talked about this before. I still am perplexed that to this, like the X is coming out, they should have offered digital games in the form of Gears of War 4, Halo 5, and or Forza 6 or Horizon 3 in this box. It does not cost them anything to put out these digital codes. They should have been giving these games as, listen, there's going to be a lot of first-time Xbox buyers. Okay, we all have those games, but it would still incentivize people to purchase, hey, I'm buying this $500 box, and I'm getting 2 or 3 games, and they're the biggest Xbox titles to go, and they're all getting support.
That's right. And I think that's a smart move. I remember discussing it on Crossfire. We discussed it a few months back. What is the harm in putting one of those titles in the box? You know what I mean? Come on, can somebody fucking tap in their inner Brad Pitt? What's in the box? There's nothing in the box.
Here's the thing, though, Mooch, right? Like, maybe Microsoft just, they're privy to the numbers, so they're like, this thing's fucking sold out anyway. You know what I mean? Like, it's initially sold out. Again, like I said, the people that are like, hey, I've been able to pre-order it. I'm like, hey, go back and check the date that the thing's going to come to you.
You're right, Crap.
You know what I mean? Like, these consoles sell at launch no matter what. Even the original Xbox One, as much as people hated on it, it did amazingly well at launch.
No, you're right. But what about goodwill crap? That goes a long way with new console releases, right?
It does, but I mean, it does, and it's hard saying. I wish they would too.
Unless you see this at a Black Friday thing, maybe.
Say again, clowns.
Are we getting an Xbox Game Pass with it? Do you guys know?
Yeah, a month of it.
Yeah,
see,
but
they should increase that at the very least.
Well, here's the thing.
It would they have that starter for they throw in a 3-month thing.
But a lot of people that are getting the Xbox this fall are all the hardcore that want to upgrade. We don't need Game Pass.
Yeah, they already have all those games.
That's the problem. We have those games.
I'll take it, Mooch. What are you talking about? Hashtag mooching. Throw 3 months in there.
I like the way you're talking. You can have my code. I don't want that. Like I don't. What am I going to do with that?
I mean, don't we want to bring in people back though from other consoles? Don't we want to get people back over to Xbox? I love
how he said other console. You're like, other consoles?
Yeah, the other console. Look, so clowns, you're saying that Game Pass is a good move.
Well, I think it is to get some people back over, that may have missed all the games with gold.
I like the way you're thinking. It
just gives them an incentive because it is $500, right? For us, that's no big deal. But for somebody jumping ship back to Xbox might be like, oh, I'm just getting a box.
I don't have any games. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So the fact that you can get Halo 5 and Sunset Overdrive and some of these great games that they might have missed, yeah, and it doesn't cost you all the money to actually buy those games new.
I think Clowns made a good point. I want to reiterate what he said. I got to agree. 3 months is right.
Here he goes.
Well, I'm giving Clowns. Clowns gets the trophy tonight, buddy. I like that. You got. I think 6 months is what should have been, not 3 months.
It should have been something meaty for sure.
Yeah. That's not enough. 3 months of Game Pass is kind of like it's a tease, dude. It's like when you're walking by in the fucking mall and you walk by the food court and that lady hands you the fucking teriyaki chicken on a fucking toothpick. You're like, that's what I get. That's not even a I can't even. It's like a flavor. It's like a flavor. It's like a mess.
Make me hungry.
What's going on, man?
Can I get something else? Can I at least get some of that rice? Listen, the thing about it is this. I think they're on to something. I think we've got to get back to the old days, folks, where we used to have a game in the box. It was nothing better than when that SNES, you got home and Super Mario World was in there.
Yep.
It was fucking fantastic.
Yep.
It even warrants an F word during a podcast. It's that good, folks. It was a quality item, and now we don't have that. Now you come home and you kind of feel the need to spend. Look at all of us. We just said it in the first hour of the show. I'm going to come home and buy Assassin's Creed. I'm going to come home and buy Forza. You're going to buy Forza. You're going to buy Assassin's Creed. You're going to buy Wolfenstein 2. You're going to buy all these games. It's a lot of games. That's $120, $180 out of your pocket on top of the system.
If I were in charge of marketing, sorry, Aaron Greenberg, I love you, but if I was in charge, everyone that bought that system would get Super Lucky Tail in the box.
Yes. Why not?
It's a $30 title.
Why not?
You already spent the money. Give the
Why
game
not put
away.
Cuphead in the box?
Put Cuphead, exactly. Thank you. Well, you know why? You know what? Though, crap. Cuphead's not. No. I still stick with Lucky Tail. Lucky Tail's 4K and Cuphead isn't. So I got to go with Lucky Tail there. But crap, not a bad idea because they made the money.
So that doesn't appeal to me, man.
Well, I mean. No, I don't know, guys. I think that there's something they could have done to just give it a little bit because they do have quite a fight coming up. And it's funny. I don't think their fight's with Sony at all. I think their fight is Nintendo.
That is correct.
So that's a turn of events there, folks. Let me change. Speaking of turn of events, we'll switch subjects. Let's talk about microtransactions for a minute here, folks, because right, this has been a big controversy now. And Crap and Colt, you guys have done a lot of videos on this. I want to tell you something from someone who hasn't done videos on it. The one thing that I see from the outside looking in, right, is
I guess I can't say much. I've done videos on every guy.
Right. Well, no, I want your take, but I'm just giving a take from a different perspective. The microtransactions have kept our games steadily at $60. And that's my take on it. Because they're making hundreds of millions of dollars, and I couldn't believe it. In certain instances, I've heard over $1 billion on certain microtransactions in games, which is just staggering to the average consumer because we don't think about things that way. We think about things at 99 cents and $2, and we're like, who the fuck buys that? Apparently a lot of fucking people. So here's the thing, guys. Microtransactions, I don't think are necessarily the devil. I don't think they're that bad. I think we need to stop ridiculing them for putting them in there. And listen, people always say the same thing on every video. Well, as long as it's not play to win, it's usually not. So who cares if somebody has a fancier scarf? Let them fucking play. Who cares? What do you guys think about this?
You remember in Liar Liar when Jim Carrey has to take that phone call from one of his clients that knocked over an ATM?
Yes.
And he goes over and picks up the phone, and this is what he used to say about microtransactions. Quit buying microtransactions, a-hole! That's what the problem is. You got all these people who are buying these crates, buying microtransactions, going on GTA line, buying shark cards, racking up the money and buying the big tanks and destroying everybody.
Yes.
That's the problem. If publishers didn't see this massive revenue stream called microtransactions blasting through and filling up their pockets, they wouldn't throw them in a game like Shadow of War, which, by the way, is not invasive. They give you so much in-game credit and other ways to get crates. Like, I mean, I could get into it. It's absolutely so fun to do online vendettas and to attack fortresses and stuff. They give you XP, plus they'll give you these crates, and you open them up. It's like the card packs in Plants vs. Zombies. You know, you just buy those with in-game credits, or you earn them from doing stuff, or you can buy them with real money. Quit buying stuff with real money, a-holes!
But here's the deal. I think Mooch is saying that if those a-holes out there, you know, stop throwing down the money for these crates or whatnot, then all of a sudden our games are going to go up $70, $80, $90.
Do you guys all think so?
For them.
Listen, your local
vote.
Listen,
in the chat vote.
Well, hear me out. A lot of people in the chat will agree with this one. Listen, guys, your local fucking beer store, your local liquor store, vodka's gone up. Your dump vodka has gone up like $1.50 in the past like 5 years. Games haven't gone up in over a decade. Come on, guys. Like we are staying at a steady $60. So even if you're a little perturbed by this whole microtransactions thing, you have to understand that $60 is still $60. If somebody next to you, your neighbor, your favorite gamer, the guy you play with, your favorite YouTuber, wants to go out and spend an extra $50 on the game, who cares? Good for them. Let them do it. Meanwhile, keeps the game leveled at $60 for you, the consumer.
You know, Mooch, I gotta say, I'm not completely dead set against microtransactions. I gotta be the one of those people that's like, as long as it's not pay to win, and that is with online multiplayer. From the stuff I heard from, I believe it was Saltiest Gaming on last week's next podcast, when it comes to like Star Wars Battlefront 2, with the different perks that you can have for the special characters, like was it Boba Fett, 100% like no damage while you're in the air, and all he does is jump around with a jetpack. stuff like that I can't condone, man. I can't do that. It kind of gets people to it forces them to think about throwing down money for these things. Now, what Halo did, what 343 did, I think is the optimal way to do it, because if you want to, stick your chest out, and all that good stuff, when you buy rec packs and stuff, you can stick your chest out with kind of like the weapons that you get for Warzone. But Warzone is so big. It's like teams of 12 versus 12 with enemy AI and bosses and all that good stuff. I mean, you can feel like the big man on campus or whatnot, but at the end of the day, somebody who isn't spending the money still contributes to the team as well. And I like that. Plus the aesthetics, plus the armors and the gun skins and stuff like that. I think that 343 did it probably the best way, and I think more developers need to look at that direction and say, what?
The thing is, though,
we're going to put that in there.
Xbox, that's not fair, because 343, as we all use as a joke, and I don't like how we use it as a joke, but it's semi-true. They have like a blank checkbook, so it's not really fair to say 343 did it right. Of course, they did it right when they have Daddy Warbucks.
Shit ton of money off of those rec packs. Most of the money actually went back into
but they also have a game. But
Xbox, like
Xbox, but Halo is such a phenomenon, right? So you have people in the community that are like, thanks for the free maps. We'll give you an extra $6,000. Like, people will do that because they love Halo.
Oh, they won't do that with Star Wars?
They won't do that. They won't do that with Shadow of War.
Well, Shadow of War is a different thing. It's a single player game. And who am I to tell people,
well, is there a multiplayer aspect though?
Spend that extra $100 on microtransactions for your single player experience. Like, who am I to say something like that?
Well, no, that's right.
As far as Battlefront 2 goes, though, Assassin went into detail with this. People are making a big deal out of it for no reason, because those cards that you're talking about, Xbox, don't last that long. They might be like 2 seconds or 5 seconds. So if you're a skilled player, it's not really going to make a difference.
So they're raping your wallet even more than for like 2 seconds of superiority.
And those are the people that want to buy it, though. You know what I mean? Like, those are the people that want to buy it.
I feel like I'm the only one that thinks that games aren't increasing in price. I don't think they will or should or would. I just think I look at microtransactions as an additional revenue stream that is there and is being exploited. And that's why we're mad, because I think publishers see suckers and everyone else are buying into microtransactions, and they're like, this is like a free pot that people are willingly paying into all the time. Throw it into our game and let's make some more money. And you know who is to blame? It's not the people who buy microtransactions. You know, you can also blame the used game sales like GameStop.
Yes,
you know?
absolutely.
Yes.
They did remember the whole thing that ruined gaming for us back in like 2008 and 9 when they did the online pass.
And
if you bought a game used, or if you got a game from GameFly, you couldn't play the multiplayer unless you paid the $20 for the online pass. So you'd go and buy a game used for $35 at GameStop. You'd have to go home, log on, and pay the $20 so you could go online and play multiplayer. And thankfully they killed that. But I feel like I'm the only one that looks at it like it's an extra revenue stream. It's easily exploitable. There's where microtransactions are coming from.
Right.
Games they just can't, the industry just can't get above that $59.99 US price. They don't want to jump over that hurdle. They're afraid that everyone bank out, but we love gaming. We'd pay an extra $10 if it meant the bull crap.
Well,
stripped out
here's
of
the
games.
reason I'm careful, and that's you have to tread water there very, very carefully, Colt, because
Yeah.
when you go ahead and say that, okay, and you bring that number from 60 to 70, these microtransactions aren't going away. All they're going to do is make more money. So what I'm saying is I think your first part of your statement is accurate. We need to make sure that this retains and stays at $60. I agree with you. I think if you're going to go, I have no problem with all these add-ons. Think about it, guys. When you go to your favorite amusement park, you go to your favorite, it's $50 a head to get in. And some people start beefing, right? How dare you charge me $50? You've been in existence forever. How dare you do that? But then when you get in there and you pay that $50, then they have the cotton candy stand and the soda stand. $8 for a glass of water. It goes on and on. Those are microtransactions, folks. You pay to get into the park.
Just did a moochism with
But you know, so when you get done, you've paid your entry fee of $50 to ride all the rides, but you can't stay there for 10 hours without having a hamburger, a fucking hot dog, a glass of water. It's all part of it, folks. But somebody else will go, hey, you're a sucker, buddy. I brought my own cooler. You know what I mean, right? So my point being is,
Lake Compounds, when you go in, has unlimited free Pepsi for the
nobody
entire time you're there.
Nobody has any idea where that is, Xbot.
Connecticut. Everybody, come on down, man.
But I mean, but the cooler instance is me. That's me. I'm the guy with the cooler saying you don't need to buy those things. You don't have to spend the extra $100 today. You don't need to do it. You can still enjoy the park. You know. So the whole thing is this. I think it's not a big deal. If I turn on Destiny, I know people that are Destiny. Like I talk about Destiny. I don't hold a candle to people who play Destiny. Okay, and I'm playing a lot of it. And I'll tell you right now, I'm like, how the hell did you get all that? They're like, well, I bought silver, and I just went over and bought all the emotes I wanted and whatever.
I bought my silver starter pack.
That's fine. You said it, and you know what, Xbot, that's your money. Why should I be upset that you wanted something and you purchased it? It doesn't make any sense.
And it's all completely aesthetic anyway.
Right. Yes. It's just cosmetic stuff. Absolutely.
But look at games compared to like a movie ticket. If you go to a movie and it's an hour and a half, you paid $11 for an hour and a half or it's like $1.50 an hour.
Right.
I don't know how to do it. It's whatever. It's an hour and a half, right? You get $11 for your ticket. When you buy a $60 game, you get up to like 40 hours of enjoyment out of that $60, which is far above a movie. Yeah. So you're going. I tell people who don't understand what gaming is, people my age who don't game, they're like, oh, I'm just like, this is what gaming is. Imagine the coolest movie. You just watched that Bourne movie, and it was awesome, right? Or that new 007 movie. Imagine you get to go home and control that movie. And you do it for 30 or 40 hours, and you're like, oh, I mean, that's where the value of a game is. We don't want that value to go over $60 because, oh, man, I mean, it's unbelievable. In '88, I was paying $40 for a brand new NES game, and I was there way back in the day with my hair sticking up in the back.
Yo, Mooch, Colt said 30 or 40 hours, and just made me think, damn, I spent $60 on Halo 5, and I have over 3 months in-game, like actually in-game playing that game. So I got over 3 months.
Well, that's what I'm saying. That goes for Halo. It goes for Destiny. It goes for, and that's why people like Call of Duty, right? People are like, how dare they charge an extra $30 for the season pass? Dude, the people who play Call of Duty are playing it from November to November. For a year, they've paid $90. What in the world are you doing right now for $90? That's entertainment for a year. Nothing.
Zero.
Nothing.
Yeah, I think Colt brought up a good point about microtransactions being exploitable, because I feel like the map packs and everything when they first came out, it was to combat the used games market. I mean, it was hitting the developers hard, and it really caught the attention of the publishers who like to rake in that dough. And all of a sudden, like, the games were only selling for like the first couple of weeks or whatever, and then all of a sudden copies were in the used games market, and they weren't getting anything from it. So it went from kind of like making their money back to being exploitable. So I think it was an evolution, kind of like over time, man.
Yeah, and somebody took my theme park reference and changed it into a Noof Nukem reference. Noof. Noof, we've got a No Chills apprentice of yours, Chris Hughes Sr. He goes, it's like going to a strip club, but just like $10 for a lap dance afterwards. So apparently it's he's using a Noof reference there. So no chills out to Chris Sr. But Crap, let me get, Crap's been way too chill, and I want to get Crap a little riled up here for CrossFire. Crap, something that was big this week, and I don't think you're coming around. I am pretty sure you're not coming around. Is keyboard and mouse support is rumored to be hitting probably in the next few weeks. What is going on? Do you think here's my thing. I wrote it in our comments, right? I said basically pros, cons, or myself personally, who gives a shit? Well, I don't think it matters.
Well, here's the part, right? Like they go, oh, we're doing crossplay with Halo Wars 2 with Windows 10. Which at first you're like, okay, whatever. Like the game's dead on PC. Nobody plays it. It's probably pretty much dead on Xbox too. So I can understand they're trying to reinvigorate it. Although the original reason they didn't do crossplay for that was it was an unfair advantage for people on PC.
Yes.
Because they can use keyboard and mouse. That's one of those, you know what I mean? Like that's still an advantage. Like they haven't really elaborated. Are they going to make different lobbies? Are you going to know you're playing against somebody in Windows 10? You know what I mean? Like, that to me is the main questions that I would have to ask before I would like freak out. Now,
Ibarra said that though. Ibarra said that. He said that we're making sure that we're well aware that there needs to be some type of a separation or some
that's
type
not
of indication.
Exactly what he said. He said we're coaching the developers to say, hey, you guys got to think about your multiplayer. But in other words, we're like, hey guys, you got to think about your multiplayer. But at the end of the day, it is your game, and you can do whatever you want with it. You know what I'm saying? That's exactly
here's the
what
thing. I feel like
it.
Microsoft pushes that it's okay to go keyboard and mouse versus controller more than these other developers. Even Cliffy B, as douchey as he is, he says, it'd be ludicrous to have someone on Lawbreakers on PC go against on PS4. You know what I mean? Ludicrous. Even some of the developers with other games are like, no. Even the Bluehole people are like, no, we'd never do keyboard and mouse versus controller. It wouldn't work. There's plenty of
documentation. That's why Xbox is bringing keyboard and mouse to the Xbox. Yeah.
Well, yeah. I mean, look, I don't. Here's what I don't know what Xbox. That's one of those weird things that Xbox does that I don't understand. Is like, if you're on a console, you probably really like the console lifestyle.
Plus, there's no going back from using the Elite. Right.
Yeah. Exactly. If you like PC, sure, you might play with a pad, but you're still playing. If you're playing multiplayer in lobbies where people are playing with keyboard and mouse because that's how they prefer it. There's more precision with that. For me personally, I don't want to mix with people that are playing. Like whenever we play Gears and Mooch, and we've done this before, and somebody invites somebody that's on a PC, we kick them out.
Yeah, I mean,
we don't play with them.
It is a ridiculous unfair advantage.
It is like, and before people go on the whole it's options crap, this is the other downside. It can deplete you already had your player base. It can deplete it. So for me, I don't like it. I think it's dumb. This is another one of the things like Play Anywhere. I know Colt probably uses it, but I think it's a waste of resources, a waste of time. And even Microsoft, as shallow as Shannon Loftus is, just like what we found is people they play Anywhere. They'll buy it on Xbox. They'll try it on PC, but then they'll just go back to the Xbox. Or they'll buy it on PC, try it on Xbox, and just go back to their PC. So basically, it's doing nothing.
It's doing nothing.
That's basically what she said.
Right.
That's basically it's doing nothing. That's basically what she confirmed.
No, I mean, I completely agree. And I know everyone likes options. I mean, 2017, a decade ago, the saying was, it is what it is. Now it's no worries. And in the future, it's going to be just give me options. I don't understand why we have to have this. No one's going to use it. That's why I'm not freaking out about it. I don't care.
Oh, dude, it's not for anything. Not to cut you off, Mooch, but
go ahead.
You said nobody's going to use it. Now, I know the Halo community. You guys know I know the Halo community.
Right.
And if there is somebody who does play on PC but has an Xbox, right, and the next Halo comes out and they support mouse and keyboard, you could bet the farm that person is going in with mouse and keyboard knowing that there is a clear advantage and they're trying to dominate competitively in arena. And there's a lot of those people out there.
That won't happen because I will select I don't want keyboard and mouse in my fucking game. That's it. Oh,
if they give you that selection.
But they will give you that selection, Xbox.
Well, hopefully, but here's the only problem.
Parameters down. That's the whole thing.
Here's the problem that let me just kind of explain this as well. Like this is the problem that worries me. Like say Sea of Thieves, right? There might not be an option there. Like I heard they just want people to play seamlessly and really not know who you're playing against. That was the idea behind the Windows 10 version and Xbox version of Fable Legends as well, right? Also, you have to take a look at this. Them trying to get these games to work cross-platform all the time is really what's holding them up. I mean, maybe Sea of Thieves could be ready if they weren't trying to make it cross-platform.
No, but it's just a carryover. Like some Windows 10 games, like I know it's not anything to brag about, but the Fallout Shelter mobile game, they just dropped it on the Xbox. It just worked. They didn't have to do anything. So I would challenge you guys. I wouldn't advocate for PC because those guys are jerks to me, even though I'm a PC gamer half the time. But I would ask you guys, name one negative thing about Play Anywhere because it is only a bonus to me. I mean, even if you don't own a PC, if that free game, if you don't have a PC to play it on, what's bad about it?
No, I just think it like I just did. I mean, I would say if they actually are spending more time to kind of do that, or if they're mixing the lobbies, or it could potentially take people that would buy it for Xbox or buy an Xbox and not buy an Xbox or that game. You know what I mean? Like, and then they mix the lobbies, and you know why they mix the lobbies, right? Is because the game is dead on Windows 10 because the Windows 10 store is shit. And nobody buys anything on Windows 10 store, right? So, like, even Hellhammer, who does have a capable, mine's not terrible. I could play games if I wanted to. I choose not to. I mean, I get offered so many Steam codes, right? Like a million, like play my game. You're crap gamer. We have a Steam code we'd like to gift you. No thanks.
Jeez.
I've turned down probably 300 Steam codes. I have no interest in gaming on PC whatsoever.
We got Shower with Your Dad crap. If you want to play Shower with Your Dad, we got that for you.
Yeah, I don't want to be playing no weird stuff. You know what I mean? I'm not playing any of that stuff, man. And so for me, I just think it's really a waste of resources. And it does give that stigma. When you've got mainstream media like Game Informer, Ash Shannon Loftus, they're like, what do you say about people that say that Xbox has no exclusives? Because that is a perception. And people will say, hey, well, if I really want to play Cuphead, which is a really good game, I could just play it on this shitty laptop or whatever. You know what I mean? Or if I want to play Halo, I don't need to buy an Xbox. I could just play it on this. You know what I mean? They are really, I know that's trying, you know what I'm saying? They really do cost themselves some sales there. Now, I don't know the numbers, but for me, it's always, look, I've bought every single game, right, that's playing, and I've never cared to, and I don't have, I mean, what's a Windows 10 store? I don't even fucking know where it's at.
It's awful.
You know?
It's awful.
I don't know. I've never downloaded one. Like Killer Instinct I've never downloaded anything.
I've had a problem every time I've used it, and it's awful. They need to fix it.
Yeah, I'm not like, I have no interest in that. I see what they're trying to do, and it's similar to what Sony does. They make a big deal out of it, but I don't think it's a big deal. Like, I don't care that the games are on PC, but it does give a negative perception in the hardcore market. Mm-hmm. And I think that it can take away resources because you have to have people doing both. It's like, how do we know? Like, a lot of the games that we get hit with delays just so happens, and then they're going to be PC. Like, look at Quantum Break, right? That game got delayed into May of that year. Why? Oh, randomly, they announced that it's coming to PC too. Right. You could never convince me that one didn't impact the other.
Of course,
right?
It did.
Like, and same thing with like Sea of Thieves and all this stuff. Like, if this is impacting the console, then I think it's bad. Do I know that 100%? No, But I do think that it's probably a little bit more to it. I mean, they have different people. They're like, we're going to test Sea of Thieves on Windows. We're going to test it on this. You know what I mean? Like, I don't want that. Like I haven't really tried to play Killer Instinct online yet. I know it's with Steam now. Can you pick who you want to play against on there? Maybe somebody in the chat can let me know. Since they've implemented
That's a good question.
Crap, what you're saying about taking time and resources away for the Play Anywhere. Now, how would you feel? Because I feel kind of the same way with you, man. Because it's an Xbox title, therefore the Xbox console should get kind of like the mainstay, the main go. So what if like if the PC side wasn't ready, they still release it on the console, and then when the PC one is ready, it's still Play Anywhere. Would that be more acceptable?
Yeah, sort of like what they did with Destiny 2, right? Like, I think that's just now releasing on PC, even though it's been out on console for a little bit now. But I also think that the console should have some stuff that doesn't go to PC and vice versa. If Shadow, what the hell is that damn game? Age of Empires. If those games are going to stay exclusive to PC, then why wouldn't Halo stay exclusive to console? If like I'm a little bit bummed out because I like AR and VR. I admit that. But now they're all like flip-flop on that, which VR was a selling point of the Scorpio originally. And now they're like, nope, and we're going to keep that in the Windows space. I'm kind of bummed out about that. Why is the PC getting every exclusive that the Xbox gets, every single one of them, and it's getting VR, and it's getting its own exclusives from Microsoft?
Well, how do we know Age of Empires isn't being delayed for them to build a controller-based UI and bring it over to Xbox?
I mean, we know, but it does seem like a lot like it's not going to. I mean... I don't know.
It's not a game I'd play anyway, but I mean, there you go.
I like RTS, but that's, you know what, Age of Empires is a hardcore RTS. Probably be pretty difficult to control with a controller. I can't imagine.
I do got to say, and I'll come to Crap's defense here, Crap. You know, because I mean, back in the day,
making some great points
right now. I mean, I'm just it's just my opinion.
No, I know, but I'm not coming to defense on the panel. I'm coming to defense just in general because there's a lot of people who are like options are options, and I like options. It's like, okay, great. But the thing is, you kind of make a good point in that it does take away from one group or the other. The other thing is that I think resources, when we talk about resources, it also means funds, money. It also means time, delays. And these are things Crap just iterated with great examples. I do think that those are problems. And the one thing I don't understand is that, like, their main competitor, when it comes to games, when somebody says, and man, I tell you, I know that the numbers don't really prove this, but even if you're anywhere, if you're in the mall or you're at the gym and you're talking to somebody's like, oh my God, Call of Duty, or oh my God, Shadow of War. I've never run into anybody that's like, oh yeah, I'm playing it on my PC. Very few. It's always either PlayStation or Xbox. And it's like, that's where the money is. And everyone's like, well, come on, Mooch, there's more PC gamers than it. Listen, it's 2017. There's PCs in everybody's house. So everyone's playing on dumbed down PCs. I get that. You can do that. But majority of people that enjoy gaming are playing on PlayStation or Xbox, not PC. They're not. I'm sorry. PC, nobody wants to hear that, but it's true. And Microsoft's trying to marry these two. And I don't know, for me personally, it's like watching somebody combine oil and water. It doesn't want to fucking stick. It doesn't want to stick.
It's their other platform, though. I mean, they have Windows 10 gaming. It's their,
it is.
And Phil Spencer said he wants, if you buy a game, you should be able to play it wherever. I think this is his exact quote. You buy a game, you should be able to play it wherever the F you want. And that's kind of what he's done.
You got a surface. If your older kid is great at soccer, you love your kids the same. You can't take your second kid and be like, go out there and fucking play the game. We're here.
Wouldn't you spend more time on Xbox if you couldn't play any of the Xbox games on PC?
Say again, Crap.
Wouldn't you spend more time on Xbox and paying Xbox Live and if you couldn't play those games on PC?
Exactly.
Well, yeah, but you're also kind of narrowing down my choices about where I want to play. Are you kind of narrowing down where everyone? If you want to force all the Xbox games to only be on the console, that's great for the console war, but I don't know.
It's not the console war; it's the console business.
Hold on. Here's the thing. Here's the thing, Mooch. Colt, Crap. Like Colt just said this. He said Xbox games, right? That's what he said. Xbox games. So Xbox should lead the way. All right. Maybe staggered releases, stuff like that. I love what Crap said. When it comes to Xbox exclusives, it seems like all of them, are going over to the PC. But where's those PC games coming over to the platform. It's got to be
you know why
street.
Xbox, because it's a two-way street for one side of the
it
the
seems
argument,
like they're taking
Roblox
the popularity and the name Xbox, and they're trying to bolster themselves.
Listen, exactly. Xbox right.
Well,
Listen,
yeah,
we sit here every week and we talk about nostalgia, right? Crap. I love my Genesis. I love my Nintendo. I played Coleco. Where's my Atari? Everybody likes to talk about all this stuff all the time. It started on consoles. Consoles is where this whole thing. Even people who are PC guys right now. Anyone's listening that's PC. You started on a console for the most part. There's a couple of you that didn't. But
you know what's weird, Mooch? I've spent a good solid 2 years ignoring my Xbox to play on PC, and this is going to sound really strange, and I don't know how to explain it, but it is more enjoyable on the Xbox overall, no matter what. And I don't know why. When I get on the Xbox, it's just peace of mind, happiness. It is fun. The achievement animation pops up, and it's so awesome. Like on PC, it's this little gray box. Bing-ong. It just pops there. It looks disgusting. Yeah. And as a graphic designer, I love the animated pop-up for the achievement. And if that was the only reason why, that'd be ridiculous. I just can't explain it, guys. When I'm on Xbox, I'm having more fun.
Colt, let me help you out. I know what you're talking about. When that little thing pops up, the trophy pop or whatever, the achievement pops up on the Xbox. When that happens, you're like, oh shit, that's going to post right to my activity feed. Everyone's going to be like, dude, bro, how the frig did he get that? How did he do that? Like, it's all part of this like community. We call it community. It is a community. This world, this community that exists on Xbox. We're all on. The minute I pop on, every one of you guys gets a boop on your TV. Mooch is on. So some people are like, yo, we playing Destiny tonight. Boom will be like, yo, how crazy is Evil Within 2? And I'm like, dude, it's sick. Like, there's a community. The minute you turn your Xbox on or your PlayStation, you're in this world. And when you're on PC, people are like, well, I can do that same thing on PC. No, you can't. You actually have to do a step further. You have to reach out to your friends, send a text, hit them up on Skype. Maybe they'll get together. Maybe they won't. You don't know if they're on. When I turn my PC on, Colt, when you come home, and correct me if I'm wrong, when you come home and just turn your PC on, does it tell you all your friends are on?
Yeah, it kind of does that. It has pop-ups that tell who's up and what they're playing. It does a pretty good job of emulating what consoles
Is that Steam or Windows 10?
Steam.
Okay.
No, Windows 10 doesn't do anything.
That's what I was going to say. Windows 10 doesn't do that.
No. But stuff, if you're on Steam, you're a gamer pretty much. But yeah, Steam kind of does that. And I've had my group fun with people on PC. But it was funny when this end of the summer when I started getting back on Xbox more because I am an Xbox fan through and through. I love consoles. It's where I play. It's where I have fun now. But like Dealer Gaming was chatting with me on there, and like he would ask me to be on these parties, and he's like, Colt Eastwood. And I get on, he's like, how's it going? I'm like, it's good. I'm like in this social circle again. He's like, yeah, you've been all by yourself on PC for a while. And I said, honestly, kind of I have been all by myself. Yeah, it's not the same.
It's not, and that's the main reason. It's not. Everybody has to understand this.
I can tell you right now, when I get home from work, I don't hop in my fucking chair and go, let me get in my desk and play some PC with my keyboard and mouse. I'm like, let me kick back. You know what I mean? Grab a Gatorade. And
that's the thing is, I just exactly in crap. I mean, I actually what crap just said is 9/10 of it, Colt. It's not that I don't have it within my means. I can go out tomorrow and buy a PC that you would be like, holy shit, Mooch, that's crazy. The thing about it is, I don't want to go into an office or sit at a desk or sit in a computer chair. I want to sit on my comfortable couch with my big coffee table, put the drink down in front of me, put my feet up, see what's going on. Maybe, you know what I do too? I flip between TV and Xbox and TV. Can you figure that out, folks? Then I go to Netflix, and then all of a sudden I'm on Netflix and somebody goes, yo, Mooch, by the way, we're going to do that raid. Boom. What do? Pause Netflix, go do the raid, come back, do a Nightfall. Like that's interaction. It's all intertwined, and it works with everybody's living room for the most part. And when you're
I get
on
why
PC,
Microsoft is doing what they're doing just because of their Windows shit or whatever. But for me, it has nothing to do with me. Like whenever I just tune out, whenever they start talking about any of this other shit, for me personally, it's like, like I honestly couldn't care.
Stark in the chat, he says, Mooch, you can do all that on PC. You can do that, buddy, but you have to do it in a different room on a computer chair facing your little screen. I'm doing it. I'm watching a 75-inch television. I've got a huge coffee table, my feet up. You're not doing that playing a game. And if you are doing that, why are you? What do you have? Your PC, you have a computer, you have a tower next to your television in your living room. And you could say you do, but that means you're a bachelor. Okay, people who have families, you don't walk in. When was the last time you went to your aunt's house and there's a computer tower next to the the television? Never. So don't tell me that happens regularly. It doesn't. So, I mean, don't get me wrong. There's always a rule to the exception. We've kind of talked about this as this will be an ongoing debate when we're all 6 feet under the ground. Let's go to our next thing here. Let's talk about this. EA shuts down Visceral Games. A lot of people were like heartbroken about it. A lot of people were upset. Myself personally, I'm a huge Dead Space fan, so that kind of bothered me a little bit. But EA came out a little while ago and said that Dead Space was dead anyway. So, I mean, are you guys upset that Visceral Games died or is gone because they did so many great things in the past? You have to look at things as a business, and like there's certain things that just aren't doing well around here anymore. Like it goes for your local community too. There was like 4 Chuck E. Cheese around my area. Now there's 1. Am I supposed to get mad? They don't like to see a big rat playing with kids. I mean, the thing about it is that Visceral Games did a great job when they were younger, but lately they haven't. And it's the same thing what happened to, what do you call it there? Lionhead Studios. Remember crap when I finally said that and you're like, Mooch, actually that makes sense. They're Lionhead sitting out there. They're just dragging money out of Microsoft. Lunch, lights, rent, salary, cars, fuel, lattes, everything, cardigans. Weird, funny hats that Damon Hatfield wears. All of them are wearing these things. Selfies, sneakers, and no games. No games. And Visceral's been in this kind of point where they haven't really produced in a while, and when they did produce, nobody liked. So what happens? You cut them, and a lot of people come out with their Kumbaya candle. They come out after 9 when the sun goes down. Everybody starts singing a hymn, and they're like, how dare you cut them? And it's like, well, wait, what? Why are we singing? They didn't produce. So I mean, are you guys upset? Are you just sad because of the nostalgia?
I'm gonna say this, okay? I don't know what the current status of Amy Hennig is, but if she's a free agent, we know she's not going back to Sony. I got news for you, and I know that's so easy. Oh yeah, buy a company, make games, you're the best. Microsoft, $1 billion. You know what? If they gave this woman an opportunity to run her own studio and said, okay, listen, your writing skills are unbelievable. You wrote Uncharted 1, 2, and 3. You got the short end of the stick with 4. She's getting the short end of the stick now with this Star Wars game. Let's get a new IP. Go crazy. No.
She'll end up working for Sony, working on Dreams. I
don't know, man. I mean, listen, I think if they signed her and they gave her a studio, again, they need studios. Okay, they need first-party, story-driven titles. This signing, should they pick her up?
Boom! They had Casey Hudson.
I know, and that was gross.
They literally put him in a wheelchair and kicked him out the door.
Yes, you're right. Like you're right.
That's one of the better. I would rather have Casey Hudson than her. And I'll tell you right now, they let him.
He wanted to work in that shit, though. That's the thing. I mean, he really wanted to kind of work with the VR space or whatever, clear his head. He was getting attacked a lot. People got to remember that. Of Mass Effect 3, and people hated that ending. He was, he laid low for a little while.
Yeah, but crap.
Plus, he didn't want to be a part of Mass Effect 4, and I can't blame him. You know what I mean? Like, he would have got a lot of hate for that too.
Yeah, no, I don't blame him, and I'm not saying anything about that. I'm just saying, like, to Boom's point about Amy Hennig is, listen, you know what she's doing right now? Do you guys remember when Phil Jackson left the Lakers before he ended up being the president of the New York Knicks? You know what he did? He went to like Fiji and hung out there for like 3 years. He was tweeting pictures of his 7.5 fucking foot just chilling out there, enjoying the ocean. He didn't give a shit. Amy Hennig right now is eating her 8th lobster of the day. She's fine. The thing about it is this, like, when someone actually goes through, and she was busting her ass over at Visceral Games. Don't get me wrong. She was busting her ass. But when you get let go, she knows she's a hot commodity. She knows that people are going to be calling her. Her agent's calling her left and right, being like, these people are knocking the door down for you. The thing about it is she's taking a break. She's probably not going to do anything.
Get into that pool, in my opinion. You talk about like uses of money, and you have people who are like, Xbox, they need to buy Crytek, and they need to buy, Capcom and this and that. This would be a place where they can put their money in, and I think
I agree, Xbox.
It would make sense. It would be rational. They can throw down a couple extra zeros there and get the name and the writer into Microsoft Studios. I think it's a it's a no-brainer that they should at least have their name on the table when it comes to Amy.
I think that an Amy Hennig signing would be as big as Sony signing Kojima. That's just my opinion.
Well, you know what? It's actually bigger in the sense that you're going to get more production. Kojima signed on for this Death Stranding. I listen, the minute he signed on, I started following him on Twitter. He's been anywhere but a studio in the past 2 years.
It's going to be a launch title for the PlayStation 17.
Do you guys see his tweets?
Kojima,
he's in Australia, then he's in California, then he's in Washington, then he's back in Japan, then he's over here, then he's tweeting food and different types of sodas and this and that and blah, blah, blah. And he's doing all this photography. He's out in some kind of mountain. He's like, everybody check out the fog. And then there's like 20 pictures of that. I'm like, there's anything. I follow him. Not once does he talk about Death Stranding. Not once. So listen, two things. Either Death Stranding is coming out when we're all gone and dead, or Death Stranding's coming out, and the only thing Kojima about it is going to be his false signature that's on the top of the fucking cartridge box. So, I mean, listen, there's not a lot of Kojima involved with Death Stranding as far as I'm concerned, because he's not anywhere near. I don't know how much programming you can do from a phone call, but he's not near a studio. But yeah, Amy Hennig would definitely produce more. That's for sure. I mean, I got to agree with you guys there. And we're going to be approaching a 2-hour mark, and Crap will be hitting me with a GIF in a minute. But listen, I want to go through this. So the new Xbox One updates came out. Everyone seems to like. I came around. I started liking the update. I like the new dash. What do you guys think? I understand that. I think everyone, for a general consensus, is liking it. I'm going to refrain from speaking because I went on a rant on Xbox Nation. What are you guys not liking? What needs improvement?
I can't pin, this may sound dumb, but I can't pin something like Netflix to the very front, like couple boxes, unless I'm doing it wrong.
No,
I mean, because I want like my game, your game's on the top left, which is fine.
Right.
And I think there's the next thing is my games and apps. And then like right there, it'd be nice to put like my other entertainment, like Hulu or Netflix. And I got to pin it down to like swipe down or something. But
wait,
I
so
like it.
You can't pin Netflix as a pin to home?
As a main, I don't think so.
Well,
back me up, fellas.
No, you can. When you pin it's with your pins, but it's not on top.
Yeah, mine's
when
at the
bottom.
bottom.
On top, you mean the 4 blocks right underneath your launch?
Yeah, that feature.
Those have never been customizable. Those are supposed to be your most recents.
You know what though? But there are boxes on the top of that which show you things that those boxes on top. No one wants those boxes.
Nobody wants those boxes.
You should be able to, I should be able to put Xbox movies, Netflix, and like let's say for instance Amazon Video, because I use those particular apps.
You know what though? Let me tell you something, guys. If you want those to be permanently Netflix and things like that, Netflix and them are gonna have to pay for that. Because that's a permanent location. I don't think that the things that you're talking about that you don't like, I don't know if those can be customizable, like just another app to pick. The 4 last used ones next to my games and apps, that's always supposed to be convenient to be like the last few things you use. Because think about it. Netflix and the last 2 games you've played, you've got the launch for the game you last played, which is the big box in the top, the center, the main piece.
Yep.
Then you have my games and apps, and then you have 2 or 3 boxes there that are the last ones you used. And you've probably used Netflix in the past 2 or 3 applications anyway. If not, you can pin Netflix to your home and have it your main button right underneath there. So you'd only press down on the D-pad twice. That's not that much work, guys. We're starting to sound like George Jetson. Pushing a button is not a lot of work. But I understand what you're saying. I think what Colt's saying is make the whole damn thing customizable or forget about it.
I don't like how small they are, the pins. I mean, that's...
You mean the pin? We have to kind of clarify, right, Crap? You mean the pins on the bottom?
Yeah, those pins. Whatever, however many, 20 or 30 of them, whatever the hell they got.
40.
They're small.
40.
Like, I would like the option to do maybe 20 and make them bigger.
Yes.
I definitely agree. They're too small.
Yes,
they're absolutely too small.
Here's my problem. They made such a great point with add to home or pin to home. So like I have Destiny, The Evil Within, Crap. I can have all of my friends and games as like my main pins. So you guys like are big blown up as I go down. I don't even need the pins anymore. I was using my pins all the time. Now I've just pinned all my like favorite things to pin to home. So now, or add to home. So now I have all of my pins on my top 3 or 4 things when I press down on the D-pad. I don't need I mean, why do I have to pass the ones that I'm passing to get to the other pins?
Hey, Microsoft,
Mooch, I gotta say one thing I really do like about the new setup, and I've had this for a while. I was like,
I just got it a week ago.
I was one of the first people in the Insiders program to actually get the update and everything like that.
I was one of the first people to opt out.
Those 40 pins that you're talking about, I don't even scroll down on my home screen for them.
Right.
I use the side menu for just about everything I do. The only time I really see like the main dashboard or the main page is when I first start up my Xbox. I do everything through that side menu. And I think that's where kind of like the magic is.
The guide. You're talking about the guide.
Yeah, the guide.
The guide is fantastic.
That's where I do everything. All right. I see the main screen maybe once, and then I'll go play Destiny 2, but then I'll be like, you know what, I gotta go in on Forza.
There's a couple key things we're all talking about. First of all, Xbot, you're 110% right. The guide is fantastic. To Boom's point, those two things, like I turned on my Xbox One when I got home today to do a couple quick things on Destiny before the podcast, and there it is. It says Xbot is playing. And I'm like, who cares? Like, I'll look up when I want to look up what Xbox playing. Why is it I turn on my home screen and Xbox is the star of my show? That's my show. Why is Xbox on my show?
Xbox is a very smart Xbox.
He's 448. But no, Colt, what were you going to say? You were going to say you had a minus or something.
I was going to say, Microsoft, why don't you hire a graphics god and Colt Eastwood to design your UI for you?
There you go.
I mean, I'm pretty sure we could come up with something really nice and helpful. We're using it. We'll ask you guys for help. Let's do it.
You know, I don't mind what we're all saying. I think everybody's point here is valid. I don't even have an if or a but. I think you guys are on top of it. Boom's idea of getting rid of those two things, or don't get rid of them and make them customizable, is huge. And I can't speak for you guys, but I recently bought a real easy peasy kind of 4K TV, and it came with a remote control. And it was just something small. And I'm looking at it, and on it, it has Netflix, and it had iHeartRadio, and something as hard buttons on there. So, pardon me, when I'm on the TV, if I press the Netflix button, it goes right to Netflix. I don't even have to, it's in the menu too, but it's a hard button. I kind of agree with Boom and say that this is kind of a moneymaker for Microsoft. If I'm in Microsoft, I'd say, guys, we've done our research, and about 90% of our users are hitting Netflix once a night. Why don't we give us a little money, and we'll put Netflix as a small button where that thing that now says Xbot 448 is playing Destiny. I don't need to know.
Try to replace me with Netflix, man. That's it. I'm done with this show.
If it makes you feel better, Xbot, I will pin you to my home. My whole point is that, like, I think those are key things that would be very useful for a user. Or people will get upset with that, right? We need options. 2017, folks. If you don't have options, you're angry. So what that means is get rid of what we have there and make them customizable. But my only thing, Colt, to go back to your thing, was you said those 4 items that were below you wanted customizable. I'm not going to say you're wrong, because you're entitled to your opinion and it makes sense. But the whole concept there was your last 4 items done or used, or your apps would be there. You're saying you don't want that. Colt Eastwood?
Hello?
To CrossFire.
He has left the building.
He's busy on his PC right now. He's on PC.
Colt Eastwood is playing Gone Home on his PC. Folks,
yeah,
he's
like, hey, I was in an intense match of something on PC on League of Legends.
What do you think? Do you like the last 4 apps there, or you think that should be customizable?
No, I do like the last 4.
I do too. I
like that, because you know what I mean, because sometimes it's like stuff that I don't have pinned or whatever. It's like, it might not be as big of a problem for other people, but I have like 500 damn games installed.
Right.
So
you're not gonna have them all pinned.
Yeah, exactly. So it's like the most used ones I pin, but that includes Hulu, Netflix, my media player. I know that's kind of a joke or whatever. What people don't understand, though, even though it's like a joke now, is I totally got off doing a satellite and cable. I use Hulu Live TV now.
Yes, you do.
I use CBS. I use the CBS, the WWE network. It's like all my entertainment is done. My Xbox is literally never off. I think it might be off right now, but
crap. When it says media player, are you streaming something off of a PC?
Off of my PC, yeah, because I have all the Simpsons seasons on there. Well, the first like 20. And so yeah, but I also have like other stuff on there as well. So but it's usually The Simpsons, you know what I mean? And what happened was I have them on DVD, but I like the server because it just plays one after the other, and then it'll go to the next season and play one after the. Well, I don't have to hit play or whatever, you know what I mean? So I burnt them, I ripped them to my computer.
You have a playlist.
Yeah, and then so they'll play one after the other. You know what I mean? So that to me,
cool.
That serves the purpose of that. You know, and what's really cool is the TVs that I have pick up the server as well. I don't even need the Xbox technically for that, but I like it better. I think it works better. So
no, well, listen, guys, we're approaching the 2-hour mark. I want to say this has been an outstanding episode. Absolutely,
yeah, the show was good.
Show.
Like clowns kicked in for about 25 words.
I'll always take.
So I always try, but somehow Crap always cuts me off every time I try.
Like you know what it reminds me of this episode of Always Sunny in Philadelphia, where it had Sinbad and Rob Thomas, the lead singer for Matchbox 20.
Yes.
And Sinbad's like, and they're in like the insane asylum or whatever, and Sinbad's like, and this is my friend Rob Thomas, the singer from Matchbox 20. Sing something. And he goes to sing something, he goes, shut up. You know what I mean? That's what it reminds me of.
That's such an underrated show, Crap.
Dude, I love that show. What? What do you mean? We gotta have someplace to put our insane, but then you have to pay more taxes. What? Taxes already paid so many. Yeah, I love that. It's
so
amazing.
Good.
So
and it all somehow Sunny in Philadelphia always ties back into the gaming world. It does marry very, very, very well. I'll start my outros, guys. Let me just start. I do reverse. Colt, are you here?
I am here.
All right, I always go in reverse, Colt. Colt, thank you for coming on tonight. You know, honestly, you do a fantastic job on RDX. You do a great job on all your videos. Everyone loves the time and effort. You actually do research. You don't just do things on a whim or just because you're feeling it. You actually say, guys, I am going to do this. I don't care if it's a couple days after the news breaks. I'm going to get my facts together and then put my video out. So, Colt, thanks for being on tonight. We appreciate it. And let everybody know where they can find you.
You can find me at Colt Eastwood on YouTube and at Colt Eastwood on Twitter, where I'm way too active. But
Colt sits there and he's always arguing with people.
Yeah, you know, it's funny. I like to talk gaming, and I like to, you know, post stuff and talk about what I'm doing with gaming and what's going on in the news. Like I can't always do a video. I kind of like to do videos that are, you know, where I'm kind of trying to analyze stuff and knock down some of these stupid things that people say about Xbox. But, you know, someone like me and Crap and anyone who does YouTube comments, we get attacked for just, I mean, like today,
Colt's followed by a bunch of Mortons. That's what I'm going to call them, because they're always salty, man.
Yeah, because like today I posted a picture from Forza 7 of my truck coming around the corner, and I'm on two wheels. I said, am I going too fast? And I got attacked by some salty pony boy who was like, oh, that game that's 4K. I can see it looks like it'd run on their iPhone. That's just the type of crap that we're dealing with. I've been talking to Mooch. We talked about this pre-show.
Yeah.
And Mooch said, Colt, you need to just block these guys. And I'm not blocking them, but if you come and attack me on a positive news point on Xbox or just a positive gaming post, you do not have the privilege to talk to me ever again, because you're a moron.
Yeah.
And you can find me at Colt Eastwood on Twitter.
Great. Not only did you find out where Colt was, you guys just got a life lesson on Twitter. And that is true. That is a fact. Take what Colt just said as Bible and gospel. You know, next thing I got my buddy. Listen, it might have been 25 words, but I want every word every Friday on this show. He's my paisano. Clowns, buddy, where can people find you? Four Guys was great yesterday.
Yeah, you can find us every Thursday night at 7 or 7:30 on Four Guys with Quarters. It's just looked up the name, and Crap doesn't cut me off over there, so you can check it out. I get a whole speech. I get a whole speech over there. I get a whole speech. I get to eat my own calzone. Crap doesn't steal it. My own Mountain Dew. My own Gatorade. Yeah.
He's like, that's my world, Crap. That's my world. That's great. Clowns, thank you so much, man. I appreciate it. Next is Mr. Halo, who he's always here. He's the Johnny Cochran for Halo, folks. Xbot448. Where can people find you? I think you have something going on tomorrow night, don't you, buddy?
Oh, yeah, definitely. A little something called Next Podcast that we like to throw on my channel. And we are going to have a special guest, Mr. Albino Rhino himself.
Wow. Yeah.
Nice. On the show. And of course, with all the news that dropped this week, you know, you got the comparison with Shadow of War, all the stuff. We're going to go in with Crap Gamer, and it's going to be a blast. As always, every Saturday, we're going to have the gameplay running. the gaming news, going through everything. But yeah, and I'm on a bunch of other shows as well. So the best thing to do is to follow me on Twitter at xbot448, because I post a link for every single show that I go live on, and see you guys in the chat.
Yeah, very cool, Xbot. You have a lot of great things going on, and tomorrow's show will be spectacular. That's for damn sure. And the man who also hangs out with you, but he does mornings with you, not new to the show, but he is fantastic. Boom, you've really expanded yourself on the different shows, different platforms, and you've really gotten your name out there. He even
stopped following me, and now he's following me back again.
Yeah. Yeah, I had an update on my phone. Of course, it's not an iPhone, and it kind of messed up all my apps. Sorry.
I was like, who's this Boomstick? I was trying to tag you in the thing.
I hope, not only did I just take note of that, but I hope, Boom, your brother also took note of what you
he's going to remind me of it. Don't worry.
Yes, I'm a big fan of your brothers. Boom, where can people find you, buddy?
Well, you can find me right now. You can currently find me on Twitter at Mr. Boomstick XL. Same thing on Xbox Live. I'm also on Coffee, Casuals, and Consoles Wednesday mornings at 10:30. It's a great show. And I'm going to be a guest on the Speak podcast Sunday with Blue and Luca. And guys, tune in, because it's going to be a lot of personal stuff that no one knows that's going to be brought out to the forefront about me and my personal life.
There you go, guys. There you go. That's what they do. That's what they do on that show. They really rip. Me and Crap did the show. I love listening to Crap's show.
They had me crying. I'm like,
yeah. Crap. What kind of cologne do you wear on a third date? Tell us, Crap.
Yeah, I don't know.
All right. Well, since you asked.
We heard at Noof. They were like, Noof, what's your favorite? I heard you like doggy style. Noof's like, hell yeah. Doggy style. Yeah.
Noof, listen, Noof was awesome. Noof has been a Mooch maniac since like day one. The guy has absolutely taken off, and he's his own brand. Noof was in the chat. And Noof, you're always welcome on the show, buddy. You're always welcome. If you got time, always hit me up like you did. It was a pleasure having you here, and your 2 cents is always looked at with ultra respect. Buddy, where can people find you on Twitter and YouTube?
Well, you can find me at noofnukem.com, where I bring the pain on your mom.
I thought that was Noof right off the bat.
I didn't do it.
Yeah, I thought it was him.
Holy God.
I don't know. Is Noof here?
I don't even see Noof, man.
He's here, but he's not talking.
He's here, but he's not talking.
Mic isn't even muted.
He is politely disrespecting a Mountie right now.
I'll say this much. I believe he's at Noof Nukem on Twitter.
He's at noofnukem.com with your mom.
noofnukem.com with your mom. Crap. I told you we were going to get that NC-17 at some point tonight. And you can also find Noof on Tuesday nights on Console Corner on GK.
And he does
channel.
Xbox Nation.
And Xbox Nation. That's right. That's right. He is there with us. So there's plenty of Noof with Mooch and Crap, no doubt. And the one, the only Crap Gamer. Crap, where can people find you this weekend, buddy?
Crap Gamer Reviews. Hey, was that Noof?
Noof's back.
There he is back. There he is.
Are you there, buddy?
Noof, are you here? He dipped out and came back, which means it must be a computer problem. He must be having a problem.
Yeah, but anyway, you can find me on Crap Gamer Reviews, doing that kind of stuff. And then Sunday, we're doing MNC Mornings. Tomorrow, I'm going to be on the next podcast. Nice. And then Sunday, it's MNC Mornings. We're giving away an Xbox One X.
Yes.
So, yes, you guys, 16 ways to enter that. Very easy. We've got over 10,000 entries right now.
Ooh,
yeah.
Man.
It's going to be crazy. So yeah, we're giving that away, and it's going to be a good time. We've got I'm thinking tomorrow we've got to actually do some prep work for that show. So,
yes, we do. We've got some homework to do, Crap. So I'll get ready to do. It'll be a long Saturday, folks, but it is for you. Okay. Yeah. So like Crap said, I'll do a quick rendition here. Check out the Gleam. I'm going to be putting the link in this the description below. It's not there right now, but it will be there when it reposts tonight. And MNC Mornings will be on my channel, I believe, this week. 11 a.m. Sunday, and trust me, it's going to be funny. There's a lot of things, a lot of skits, and we can't wait to hear the call-in. So, guys, thank you so much. Enjoy your Friday. Go out there. Get pumped for the X. Don't let the media let you down, and we'll see you next week.